Hello, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Welcome back to LoreCrimes. Yay! We like LoreCrimes. We like LoreCrimes. So we've it's been a while since we've talked about stuff in the fantasy setting. I think the last one was, what was the last time we talked about something in fantasy?
Godric and Felix.
Godric and Felix 2 or 3. One of them. 3. So it's been a little while.
There's a lot of those books, all right.
We're getting through it though. We are getting through them.
Before the Horus Heresy came out, GW's cash cow was a dwarf and his whipping bitch.
Remember, it's like what's his name? Dandelion from The Witcher before Dandelion from Witcher existed. You had Felix.
That's a
but either way, pretty much. But Colin, you're in charge of this episode. What are we talking about today?
We are talking about Archaeon, the Everchosen. Chaos when. You know, it's a very fun mix of a very intimidating figure, you know, someone who properly leads the hordes of evil, and endless author fiat. And not even just in the end times, because he had some controversial stuff before that even happened, because when you're the leader of a faction, there's going to be some arguments about you. It's just the way it is.
His poor gonads as well in the original ending. Man got like absolutely rocket kicked into the nuts by is it Grimgore, I think.
It was. Well, I'll briefly talk about that since it's even more non-canon than anything else at this point. But you know, it still happened. I also have a very shitty peace offering. If you'll give me just a moment, just one moment.
The green hat. This better be a green hat.
Is it happening?
Yes.
I think it's happening.
Oh my god!
There have been threats.
Is
in
the prediction? No way. Is the dude here as well? Is he here?
He is.
He was here before we started.
Is he pregnant?
Seething.
Oh, that is a green hat.
So it's not really a hat, but it is green.
It is green.
Wow.
Hell yeah.
Hat.
Right,
Let's see if this appeases.
That really hurt. So
for context, though, for the crazy that people will be uninitiated, a dude has been saying this. He's been donating and reminding us that Colin will wear a hat for I think about 7 weeks in a row or something.
Not more. And to be fair, I'm assuming that Colin's not wearing that he wore a Halo 3 helmet. I'm assuming it's not the one that came with Halo 3. It was like a slit is all that's there, so you can fit like a few games. I'm assuming you didn't put that.
No, that was from like a $60 Master Chief costume from Party City, where that plastic helmet is actually kind of sick, but the rest of it was just like puffy.
I really want to get the Doom helmet.
Well, no, it was like fake muscle suit, but it wasn't even a muscle suit. It was just like puffy in places where it's armor. You know, it was a real piece of garbage, but I loved it. But then I had to throw it out because I got puke all over it.
Do you remember the days when Call of Duty special editions gave you like night vision goggles? That was pretty cool.
Back in the day when games had like an up down side like it's like hack combo cheat thing, and then you could spawn a tank in like one of the Grand Theft Auto or something.
Now you can pay $150 for the Borderlands 4 special collection to get Borderlands 4.
And if you don't want it, don't buy it. Good idea. Thanks, Randy.
Don't worry, I won't.
Speaking of gameplay, though, we have some rather fun gameplay of Vermintide for you guys to watch. I'm not in this gameplay because I still don't have the game, but this is from Colin's perspective, so it's quite fitting.
It's okay.
But with that, without any more said, where do we start off with Archaeon?
I'm gassed. I love this dude.
We start off.
Abaddon.
You know, I wasn't going to say it for once. I'm glad someone else did. We start with Be'lakor. So Be'lakor is first demon prince of chaos, and with, depending on the lore you're reading, the only one of chaos undivided. He used to be very powerful, right? He used to be the chaos god's top guy. And then he got a little bit too full of himself. Tzeentch hit him with a glassing beam, at least as it looked in the Total Warhammer 3 trailer. And then he kind of didn't really have a body or proper spirit. Well, proper body. He did, however, have plenty of schemes up to and including possessing at least one Everchosen before his power burnt out the vessel. and an indomitable spirit to keep trying.
Should we mention what an Everchosen is for context for the people? Because maybe if they're only familiar with the Warhammer 40k, they might not have the fantasy know-how.
An Everchosen is basically someone who quests to become the War Master equivalent for fantasy. They have the blessing of all 4 chaos gods. They have all the most kitted out of chaos armor. It's some of the best in the setting. And then they usually go down south to try and burn down the world, or at least the Empire. A lot of the Everchosen, the End Times wasn't actually on the docket for a lot of the Everchosens. A lot of them just had beef with the Empire.
And to
it's
be
basically
fair,
like multiple Horus heresies, essentially.
Well, the thing is, War Master isn't even like an exclusive term to Horus. Like you've got Achilles, who was Lord Solar, and then he became a War Master. I'm pretty sure Ibram Gaunt becomes a War Master at one point, or he helps a War Master of the Imperium. But it's like that's pretty much the highest rank under Lord Commander for the Imperium. But Everchosen is like it comes with more perks than just like a title.
You are basically in charge of chaos. Obviously it's chaos. There's still going to be some attempted backstabbing every now and again, but you have the power to keep that in check, and you have the power to at least hurt the world pretty damn badly. And as you'll find out, Archaeon is the only person to have won Warhammer, so we'll get to that.
It's not quite like
whereas War Master.
It's not quite like Abaddon's thing with like Abaddon is kind of like a herald, like it's not really a herald, but it's like Chaos somewhat accepts him, whereas an Everchosen is
they have the outright blessing.
Yeah, like fancy the Chaos gods are the same, but they're very much more, I guess, not weaker, but like they put their full backing behind their Everchosens because that's their conduit for
it's Chaos. It's a real impressive person, especially because like you said, Abaddon's like the Chaos gods like we'll tolerate you, we'll help you out. Whereas the Everchosen, you get all 4 of them to agree somehow that this guy is our man. He's gonna do it.
He's like Super Satan.
Yeah.
Like Super Saiyan, but with a demon.
But with a T.
Yeah.
And in this case, Bellacor's schemes may not have been schemes, because during a Norscan raid into the Empire province of Nordland, he possessed a man and had his way with a Nordland woman.
Sheesh.
So it starts a little dark. You could certainly say
a little.
Yeah.
Okay.
This Nordland woman then we get away from it, but it's real rough early start. Nordland woman then unsuccessfully tries to not have the baby, dies in childbirth. And her surviving family members want nothing to do with the child. So the midwife leaves it on the door of a Sigmarite church. And baby Archaeon almost gets devoured by wolves before a Sigmarite priest shoos him off, rescues him. And merch. Let's go. Merch.
I'm building Warhammer, that's all.
All right, fair enough.
I'm not trying to advertise.
I wasn't judging. I was shouting it out.
In fact, we do have merch. We have Boing
We
Gob
do have merch.
shirts and
We
stuff.
do.
So if you want Boing Gob, celebrate your life and your Lord and Savior.
No, this is going bog.
Stickers and everything.
Completely unrelated.
Yes, sorry, going bog.
So this Sigmarite priest rescues Archaeon, and he becomes as he grows up, a squire of a knight named Sir Kastner. And indeed, for the first few decades of Archaeon's life, his name is Diedrich Kastner, a warrior knight of the Templars of Sigmar.
Wasn't the Sigmar priest like a real bastard as well?
Don't speak ill of the dead.
I mean, I think he was like he threw hands.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
He
I think we can speak ill of some dead. Some dead deserve it.
Yeah, let's not protect the guy who threw hands at kids. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, then stop protecting every Primarch.
Pretty real.
Duke can play at the child abuse allegations game.
Jesus. Bruh.
But in spite of their potentially maybe perhaps being better fathers to get than Sir Kastner, young Diedrich became like an exemplar of the warrior, the finest knight they would ever see. Eventually, his sire died, and he Diedrich, because again, he's still a good guy. He's still a proper true Sigmarite priest. Took his sword and gave it to the lady of Sir Kastner's house, who was not well treated by her husband. So yeah, this guy was a real piece of he's awful.
Didn't he get like shanked by goblins, if I remember?
He did not die honorably, no.
I think he fell into a pit. He fell into a pit, and then he was like, "Get me out, Diedrich, you bastard, get me out." And then Diedrich was like, "Oh, I'll go in." And then the goblins just arrived, and he's like, "Damn, man." They just dogpiled him.
Not everyone gets a dignified death. And his dad, his adopted knight dad certainly didn't. But see, the lady, Lady Kastner was much better of a person, and she was touched by him still delivering the sword, and so adopted him into her house, gave him Sir Kastner's sword as well as his horse. And Diedrich Kastner became a member of the Order of the Twin-Tailed Orb, who would just kind of, like I said, he would wreck shop. He was the kind of a hero. He walks into a camp of beastmen, and then when he leaves, there's no more camp of beastmen left. He was a absolute powerhouse and firmly devoted to Sigmar.
He's bulky. He's big, isn't he? He's pretty big.
Oh, he's massive. He's part Norskin. He's juiced.
Chungus.
Yeah, so his first few decades of his life were being a fanatical Sigmarite. He was doing his Lord's work, and he did fully believe in it. There's no the secret blood of chaos was making him secretly evil. He was a Sigmarite, and this isn't an uncommon thing, because there are a lot of Southern Norskins that peacefully integrate with the Empire every now and again. So there are a lot of, especially in Nordland, a lot of half Norskins running around. He was a very powerful one, but initially not all that different from a lot of the other ones. He just happened to be one who found himself in a holy order. At this point, however, Diedrich comes across a couple sisters of Sigmar who had a slightly heretical tome known as the Liber Celestior, who, this is another one of those GW creativity moments, was penned by a man named Necrodormo the Insane.
Oh no! What? You don't need the insane part, surely? That's implied, surely.
So Necrodamus is canon to Warhammer Fantasy, at least, yes. And this book held the prophecy of the Everchosen of Chaos, the final Everchosen, the champion of chaos, who would bring about the end times. It was being taken to the the Grand Cathedral of Sigmar and Altdorf, so they could just lock it away, no one ever sees it again, and keep any Chaos Knights from reading the full stuff of the prophecy and try and make use of it. This warband being the Swords of Chaos. They will come up later. Diedrich, for his part, hadn't seen the prophecy for himself, didn't really care about it beyond that's a chaos thing, therefore it's bad, and that is the end of my thoughts on it. And it didn't really mean anything to him. He did learn a bit of the prophecy, though, and he seemingly never also put together that he was a bit off in the sense of being a Norskin, partially. He was all in the Sigmarite sauce, and as the signs, as they begin doing now, start lining up, it still didn't click at first. It didn't click fully when his own order started hunting him down, because someone spilled the beans that, hey, this might fit him. And it didn't quite click when he started avoiding those Swords of Chaos, that warband, even though they weren't trying to kill him, didn't quite click that they might have been looking for their Everchosen. Young Archaeon was a bit thick. He tried to go to the Kastner estate because he's an honorable member of that family. Burned to the ground, so that doesn't help. He talks with a young sister of Sigmar, as well as the priest who, found him, kind of helped raise him, as to, hey, why is the Empire trying to kill me? And why did the Swords of Chaos want my meat? So,
hey, yo.
They seemed really into this guy, right? And he didn't know the full story yet. He didn't actually think they wanted.
Are you telling me there's a group of burly Norskins shouting and pointing to this this other burly guy and saying, "Grab his dick and twist it"?
Yeah, but they didn't want to twist it off. They wanted to give him the old cornate sloppy
reach around.
I don't know where I'm going with this.
Crazy.
Let's move on.
Lunchtime. Anyway,
there's a real howl there for you, Colin.
There's another for the compilation.
Yeah.
Diedrich, the sister of Sigmar, and the priest come to the conclusion that he might fit that prophecy. Their reasoning being, one, he was obviously, to pretty much everyone but him, he was of Norscan descent, and he was a knight of the Empire, which was the part of the criteria for this foretold prophecy, which very vague criteria. I'm not going to admit there are plenty of people out there that would fit this criteria. But Warhammer Fantasy, it's in the name. It's a fantasy setting. And, in epic fantasy settings, a vague enough prophecy like that is oftentimes enough for people to take it seriously and worry about, right? So, that's kind of it. His first response after learning this was to hang himself. It worked. It worked. He died. And then the Chaos God said, nuh-uh. Which
and the Chaos God went, another one.
Yeah, then they brought him back. He was not getting out of it that easy.
He got sanguineous. Oh no.
Which again, in a really messed up way, props
Dante. Oh, so he's more like Dante,
No.
not sanguineous. Sorry.
In a really messed up way, good on him for trying to deny the gods their Everchosen, but when all four of them say you're coming back, it's
not much you can do.
Yeah.
When peer pressure fails, there's just pressure without the peer.
So instead, he went to Altdorf to try and learn the truth, and perhaps, since it's in the Grand Cathedral of Sigmar, maybe get some denial from, like a message from Sigmar, like, no, don't worry about that. Yeah, you got a rough life, but you're not going to be him. So he heads to Altdorf, goes to an altar of Sigmar to prayer before it and just beg and plead, tell me I'm not forsaken by you, Sigmar, and that I'm not damned to this fate to become the Everchosen. And all he got was silence in response, which on Sigmar's part, I don't blame him too much, because if the Chaos Gods are outright bringing him back from the dead, they can probably shut off, Sigmar's phone line. I would have hoped that one of the other dozens of gods in the setting might have pitched in for the phone call. Like, look, hey, Sigmar, he's stuck in the vortex. He can't get to you right now, but look, you're good. But no one answered Sigmar's prayers.
Yeah. Anyone got any data?
Yeah,
said all the gods.
Yeah, no one got to the phone in time, and so he went a little bit ballistic from this, and his ability to let him walk into various beastmen, the goblin, whatever camps, and butcher everyone in there, led him to murder everyone who was in the Sigmarite Cathedral, the entire knightly garrison. Presumably a couple people who made the mistake of going to prayer late that night. And he broke and crippled the Grand Theogenus of the time, the Sigmar Pope. He started breaking his fingers one by one, and Diedrich started asking him, how the hell do you know that I'm the Everchosen? there's got to be countless, like there's surely thousands of half Norskins running around. There's thousands of knights that have fallen to chaos. Why? How do you know it's me? It was just what he was trying to ask. And the Grand Theogenist hit him with this little nugget. They didn't know, and they were just killing everyone who fit the profile to make sure. The real kicker was that the prophesized Everchosen would travel to the Temple of Sigmar in Altdorf and ask the Grand Theogenist that exact question.
Thank you, Dreadanon.
Thank you, Dreadanon.
Not in chat. Also, I'd have thought it'd be easy to find who the Everchosen was, because when you get near them, you start hearing boss music. You're like, that guy.
Yeah, you hear like the Vort soundtrack from Dark Souls.
Yeah.
It's like, I think...
that's the guy.
Yeah. So he might this one made him go nuts. He was out. Diedrich's insanity has entered. What's left of his mind is gone. It's time to change teams. So he
random, like, it is related to a promise, but like, does anyone here know Dragon Age? Not the crappy newer version of the game, but like
its existence.
I've only played Inquisition. It was the only one I've played because it was like on sale at GameStop. Who remembers GameStop, kids?
Yeah.
You remember
There's still one in my city.
Do you remember the line?
Play.com.
I think there's the line from like the bad guy in Inquisition called Corypheus, where he says, "I've been to like the Golden City," where basically he says, he literally drops a line like, "I've been to heaven and the throne was empty," and it was like, oh my god. It's like, it basically, essentially the plot of it is like the gods, there's no gods, and they basically forsaken. Well, but he prayed to gods to like help him and then not let him be corrupt.
Yeah,
essentially gods were silent because there was
gods
no god there.
Did not give him much.
Because he is a weird thing with Diedrich at the moment, where he's like, he doesn't want to succumb to his fate, as in like he doesn't want to, like he doesn't want his destiny like pre-written for him in some way to be like this Everchosen, but he's also like, if I'm gonna, he basically like, my fate is, it's like the same thing with like Horus, isn't it? When he encounters chaos, like he knows about it, he's like, I'm not gonna say no, but my fate is my own, kind of thing. He's like, I'm gonna embrace parts of it, but it'll be my choice whether I am the big bad or not.
Just a bit of chaos. I'll have enough to keep me going. Like, I'm not fully chaos.
It's the thing with Horus thinks he's like, I'm just he literally says in like, is it Galaxy in Flames something? He says like the third book, he's like, I'm using it to dethrone the Emperor. Then eventually he's just like, I'm in, soup and all.
Yeah.
And at this point, Diedrich Kastner is not corrupted by chaos, but he's very much like.
But he's more than happy to let himself be.
He's willing to explore what it is at this point, because he's like, well, the other path I chose literally abandoned me, so let's just have he's not fully in, but he's also like, he
starts swearing he's going to bring the Empire down, reveal Sigmar as a false god. He's denounces him, all of that, in newly crowned bad guy stuff. During this time, the Grand Theogenist raises his broken fingers and goes, actually, every cannon in Altdorf is also pointed at this cathedral. Eat my dick. But Everchosen's going to be born no matter what. And so despite the Empire being about to tear this entire thing down, the Swords of Chaos come back just in time. They rescue him and dip out to Norska. It should also be noted that the original version of this prophecy is he reads the prophecy and then just kind of goes insane and runs off. The newer version, take what you will for him maybe being a little bit overpowered or Sigmar being a dummy and not answering the phone, but at least there's a story told in it, and it's not just he went Joker crazy and dipped.
We should, before we go to the next arc.
While we talk about Joker crazy, we've got some donations to read out.
It's not about the stream, Batman. It's about the comments.
First one from
Why
Card
so
Shark.
Everchosen?
A hefty 20k
Oh, thank you, Card
from
Shark.
Card
Thank
Shark.
you.
So sorry, Fantasy died. It gets 5 big booms. Boom, 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 boom.
Look, it's back and it's better than well, maybe not better than ever, but it's good.
It's back
Hmm.
and it's passable.
It's back, baby.
Hey, it is good. Fuck off.
Donkey Man
It's good.
USA, $5. Stream
you.
late due to Hal gooning to Archaeon's horse. Call him Mr. Hands.
I forgot a Mr. Hands.
Colin.
Oh
Wear a green hat or a robe this week. €2.
Wow.
I gave you 12 weeks worth of goddamn hat. Look, the Master Chief helmet was a peace offering because I forgot the hat again, but I had green headwear.
Yeah. I think the thing is, this was sent before you put it. Like we had a few before we started the stream, and so like I assume I don't see anyone. I assume that the green hat requirement has been sated.
I will acquire a green hat later. This was a peace offering to give me another week, and we will see what other peace offerings I come up with when I inevitably forget.
Yeah. Cover Flesh Eater Court Annual End World Hunger gave $5. First time super chatting. Just wanted to say, love your show.
Thank you.
man.
I
We
love
love
that
you.
game.
We love you.
Yeah, we love you.
Flesh Eater Courts fans are oddly like some of the most dedicated people in the Warhammer army out of nowhere. Like it is not the army I would expect people to go nuts over, but you will find no fan more dedicated to their army than an FEC player.
This donation is wild.
Shane, thank you, Shane, bro.
Thank you.
For the tenor. Colin, you old Yakubian ape, I demand to send me a picture of you standing in front of a roller coaster. You must be this tall to ride sign, and your cranial measurements. I must study science.
Oh my God, the hell of a bit.
I'm 5'7".
Crazy.
Leave
Thank you
him
for the $10.
Bean. It's Bean for 5.
This is
The
horrid.
The Ultramarine Sergeant is yapping about courage and honor, but the Noise Marine low-key digging in your butt, so you hit him with the PDF conscript stare.
Insane.
I don't get
What
it.
is this? What are these donuts?
Oh, Eli,
I don't
it
understand.
didn't click how pathetic the Avenging Sons were when we were talking about Taros until it like finalized in my brain that they were outsmarted by PDF forces in the opening act.
Well, the town did most of the thinking. To be fair.
You still lost to an army in part consisting of an enemy PDF. I don't care.
All right. Ash Fox, thank you for the $2 stream late due to Colin gooning the fantasy lore.
I was the second one in this call.
Yes, he was here on time. Leave him alone.
They put the Colin into Master Chief. Thank you, Donkey Man USA, for the 2.
Hey,
Nice.
God, These are
Limpo 106.
Why do you have fun?
Late to stream due to me gooning to pregnant Archaeon fan art.
splendid.
Well, you learn something every day that exists.
That is a
apparently.
sentence.
Thank you for the $10.
Ash
Amazing.
Fox, $10.
Thank you.
Okay. Neravara Quick Smasher pass. I can't do the voice. Failbadon, the 13 times failure pass. Archaeon smash. Imperial Fist fans pass. Bellicor smash. Norskin women hyper smash. The sound FX of the bolters in Darktide smash. Thank you.
Reasonable.
When I was in
Reasonable.
New Orleans, I got drunk and started talking like Dagothar. I don't know why I did that, but I did.
Very nice. The Dank Apostle, thank you for the 70s R.
Thank
What
you,
is
man.
everyone's rare collector's item? I have the Horus Heresy collected version art book, the Liber Chaotica, and the Damocles Golf edition of the Infantryman's Primer. That's pretty cool. I'm from South Africa, ZA, by the way.
Probably not even
Very cool.
easy to get that stuff as well. Then
I've got
Is this
a
only for Warhammer or just in general?
I've got a piece of the Hall. The Declaration of Independence was signed in.
Ooh.
Wow.
did you take a bit of it off?
No, I did not. My grandpa gave it to me. It was
Did he?
he might have
Did
taken
he
a
take it
piece
off?
of it, and I don't know, but it's in a nice official looking like metal tin. So I'm assuming it was legally and legitimately acquired by
It's
someone.
like those guys who go to like Wembley Stadium or like a football pitch and they bring a trowel and they dig up a bit of soil and say, "Oi,
Dude, my grandpa had
a
ton of weird stuff. Like he had like a Confederate cavalry saber, I think.
Oh wow!
Like, why do you have that?
Yeah, which side was he on? I was about to say.
Well, we live in Illinois, so I'm assuming that it was a war trophy somewhere down the line.
Fair enough.
I don't really have any rare Warhammer stuff, but probably one of the rare, maybe the rarest thing I have is like I have a signed Stan Lee Funko Pop which is like from the UK Comic Con. So they only made like a limited run. I got Stan Lee to sign it, so that's probably worth like a few pounds, but it's not great. Not compared to like here's a piece of like actual American history in my house from my grandpappy. That's pretty crazy.
God, I don't have anything that nice. I have an Assassin's Creed 3 launch poster from Comic Con.
Wow.
It was only I think it was only like 500 of them.
Wow.
I got one.
I have a lot of old Warhammer. I have an old metal Rune Priest Terminator. I have an old metal Calidus Assassin. I have a bunch of stuff like that.
Nice.
I have Aun Chief right here. Old Fruit Shaper. I have Aun Vaughn nowadays.
I promise.
Morathi's designated toilet. I mean, that's a Colin one. 5 Canadian greetings from IRL Bretonia. Happy birthday, Colin. Now, is that France or the UK? Because I mean, it's from Canada.
Surely that's
it's Canadian. CA $5.
Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Is Bretonia
Canada?
Canadian?
Canada is French America. Let's be honest. That's what it is.
We have one province that has French people in it.
Too
they
many.
are rabid.
Yeah, and we're a multilingual country because of that single province.
I have this old metal rattling.
Oh, let's have a look.
Wow, that's it.
There he is. Nice.
Very nice.
That is mini.
As it should be.
Angry homunculus for £2. Have to divide my attention between this and my cat.
Just eat the cat.
Yeah.
Yo, what?
Don't
Very
eat the
healthy.
cat. Pet the cat. Pet the cat.
Richard Gaming for $5. First time dono. Been listening the last few months. Really enjoying it. Here's some dollars for helping me kick off a vacation. Hell yeah, man. Enjoy yourself.
Thank you very much.
Everyone needs a break.
Recharge those batteries.
Shalaxi's wettest gripper is back. NCA. Did
Never
you
gets
know
old.
Cain was born with his humongous orbs fully dropped? Using his raging testosterone supply, he tortures Cetra endlessly, biting at limb, ear, and lips alike. Luckily, they are my cats.
Wow.
Crazy.
XOXO.
They won't notice
There's a
the
lot
crazy
going on in
donos we get are all from like Canada.
Pretty much, yeah.
Like the most unhinged ones.
The chat is very mad that you've called Canada French and Bretonian. I'm there with you guys.
Didn't you? Oh, Andy, they're on you.
Mm-hmm.
That's one you like?
Conrad's #1 stan. Thank you for the $5. There's a 50-50 that you're a crazy lady in real life. We always attribute Cadia to Abaddon and the End Time CGW because without author favoritism, Abaddon still wins. Archaeon can't even get out of Norska. Sheesh. That's a real message right there. Bless your soul.
Wow.
That guy, you know.
Oh, that go for it.
Thank you.
$2. He controls Zinch gifts too. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Who does? Oh, there we go.
Archaeon,
Colin wear a green hat again. If Eldar got a W, they'd make you Pancreas Snow would work.
I think it's supposed to be Pancreas now work. You didn't capitalize the N and no.
That's why I was very confused. I was like, Pancreas Snow would work? Okay.
Wow.
Will work.
Would work.
Well, thank you guys for donos. We might have to
Seriously.
have a pause on them just for a second because we don't. There's so many. Thank you guys. Swedish Dunedain.
Cool.
200 sec.
Thank you.
First time dono, long time listener. Love you guys and the podcast. You are all wrong about Nick Kine and the Salamander books, though. I am partial to the Salamanders as Colin is to the Eldar. Absolutely. Do I care? Not at all.
Wow.
It's okay to have wrong opinions.
World's first Nick Kine defender.
We appreciate your presence and your donation.
Thank you.
John Apocalypse.
John Apocalypse for 2.
Thank you.
Would you want this one, Eli?
Sure. Small Soldiers turned 27 yesterday.
Oh.
Thoughts on film? I have not seen it.
Small Soldier is the name of Caesar's theme from JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
Is that the one with is it Colonel Havoc, who's just like these toys get possessed and they like fight another band of toys who are like mutated monsters, but the monsters are the good guys.
I have
and the
seen
US
that
military
movie,
guys.
I think, actually.
Or is that Toy Soldiers? That's the thing. I think it's Small Soldiers. It's like, greetings, I am so and so of the Argonites. You're like, oh, and they put one in the like garbage disposal sink, and it grinds up his legs, and he's like, Sarge, I'm dying. You're like, wow, this is a kids' film, amazing. Michael Gilardi, guys, new army for AOS revealing on the 18th. Let's go, Gorfs, Kazakan, Kashut. I don't know what any of these words mean.
I appreciate the attempt.
Also, Colin always right. Also, Colin's always right when it comes to Bretonia.
Yes,
trending on YouTube right
now. Huge.
Donkey Man Day, $5. The Great Horned Omnisci is going to cost me far more than I thought.
Bro, aren't you almost done by now?
He must be, surely.
Little do we know he's giving it Titan legs.
Oh my gosh.
Almost there, guys. I think we're going to get try to speed
three
these
more.
That's right.
Thank you very much. The Dank Apostle, thank you for the 14 SAR. I almost forgot I have a metal Semail on jetpack. That's cool. So freaking cool.
That is cool.
I'm jealous.
Or as I like to call it, how to convert Corsaro Khan on a bike.
Archangels are the coolest Space Marine models in the entire setting, hands down. And Space Wolves.
Mr. Green Hat again does say the Master Chief hat is baked. Get another week.
All right, thank you.
Nice. And last, B.
Thank you, B.
For 2. A Dwarf Slayer has hit the scheme plan. Wow. Thank you all for those donations.
Thank you, guys. That was a lot.
Thank you very much.
Really appreciate that. Thank you.
Lord Jaeger, there's been a second Bone Ripper.
So, Diederik Kastner has officially left the Empire.
Yeah, he's
north.
He's out. He's going up north. So, in order to become the proper Everchosen, he has some treasure hunting to do. For just about 100 years, in fact, he's going to be looking for these treasures. They are, of course, they're called the 6 treasures of chaos, relics of chaos. Total war quest for at least one of them, a couple of them. So, off to the chaos waste he goes. There's 6 of them in total, and the first of them is a mark of chaos that bears the blessing of all of the ruinous powers at once. It gives them basically the power of whatever blessing of each chaos god the mark gives. So it makes him a good wizard, and probably makes him be able to thought and scheme and plan better, makes him resilient and tanky, makes him bloodthirsty, something, sex jokes, Slanesh mark.
Sexy thighs.
Yeah.
The Everchosen.
He's off to there. And for this first part of the quest, he's going to Nagaroth, to something called the Altar of Ultimate Darkness.
That's a Total War quest that I recognize.
It is, yeah. That I don't remember does Archaeon do it though? Because I know obviously
that it exists in something.
I can't remember if Archaeon's quest does take him there for getting that, or if some other Dark Elf characters like item quest.
Might also just be a location on the map.
It is a location on the map. I swear there is a quest right there for a certain character. I just don't remember if it's Archaeon or not. But at least in the lore, Archaeon does go there to get the get that unique mark. So the Swords of Chaos tag along with them, and they fight their way to the Citadel, where it is said to be blacker than even the heart of a dark elf's soul, which is just fun.
Wow.
But undeterred, Archaeon, he's committed. He's not going to back down from some spooky darkness, and he continues forward. These weird monstrous creatures that are just living here start attacking him and his band. His horse, which mind you, this is that same horse he still had. Oberon was its name. Is killed by the creatures, and this is kind of his last thread connecting him to humanity, because it was his steed from when he was a knight.
God, it's like never-ending story all over again.
Yeah,
Colin has probably not seen that movie.
Correct.
Well, it's really sad in it because the main character in his quest thing, the horse gets stuck in mud and it just slowly drowns. It's a kids' movie.
Jeez.
My cousin watched that film at cinemas because he's a fair bit older than me, and he cried and he had to be taken out.
Yeah, because like you literally watch the horse, but the main character can't get the horse out.
It's like in a pool of tar, and it's slowly sinking. He's like, no,
Oh,
and the horse is like, I'm
and then the
drowning.
horse just
and then
sinks away, and you're like,
and then you just see like bubbles where its head was, and you're like, oh,
Jesus.
It's really traumatizing because the kid is
great.
The main character is only like a teenager, like he's trying to get the horse out the entire time and like yelling and crying, and it just sinks slowly.
Films from the 80s and stuff were built differently. They had like
Yeah.
Watership Down with the bunny general who's like eating the other rabbits, and it's an animated it's an animated film about rabbits, and then meanwhile it's like, oh, this is extremely gory for a kids film.
I probably unlocked some core memories for some older gents.
Yeah.
People there.
Yeah.
So that sends him off though, and he just starts slaughtering his way through all of the weird, gross things that live in this place. And after several hours of this constant murder, he's killed hundreds of them. His sword art is numb. The rooms have been repainted a nice fresh coat of red, and he offers their hearts up at the altar. He reconsecrates it to the gods of chaos. And when he comes out, he has the eternally burning mark of chaos on his forehead. So he's gift 1, and this already probably puts him up in like the top 1% strongest characters in the setting, because all 4 chaos gods have gone, you are the man.
I like this guy. This guy's pretty swell, said the chaos gods.
So the next artifact is the armor of Morcar, which was the armor of the very first Everchosen war. Makes you pretty much invulnerable to every attack. Like if you don't have named character grade magic weapons, you're not putting a dent in him. And aside from that, it's the armor of the first Everchosen. It's a very fitting thing to wear. So he leaves Nagaroth and heads on his way to go get this next gubbin. To a land of weird half-human tribal things that had never, the sun or the moon had never risen above them. It's a really just kind of gross, out-of-the-way place. But after about a week of just constantly, attacking them, their city that they had is reduced to nothing but ash and ruin. And Archaeon delves into the necropolis of Morcar until he finds it. He finds it, and then the spirit of Morcar inhabits it and starts trying to kill him. It's kind of beating his ass for a good while, until in a last little bit of desperation, which might have had some Tzeentch inspiration. He's got that mark now. He shouts out in the spirit of the Unborogan tribe, Sigmar's original crew. And it stuns Morcar for a moment, and Archaeon smashes the possessed armor aside, which banishes the spirit, and now he can have it. After this, there is the Eye of Shirian, which I keep the Eye of Ed Sheeran. Every single time that thought pops in my head. Named after the Tzeentchian sorcerer who found it. It on its own, it's a very powerful chaos artifact. It lets you be able to see the future. When combined with another artifact he'll get later on, it lets you see the enemy's attacks and predict and avoid them mid-combat. So it's both a future-seeing device and Ultra Instinct, all rolled into one.
Abaddon's really building the most OP PvP build he can imagine. Like, yeah, that's good. What other powers you got? I can block every attack.
How does Bro lose?
I guess he didn't lose any fights in canon, did he?
Well, up until the end times, he didn't lose, and even then, he won overall.
Yeah.
But after, he goes to find it, which at the time, it was in the lair of a chaos dragon named Flame Fang, who he loved the eye more than the rest of his massive pile of treasures, and he was a dragon. He's got quite the pile. So Archaeon starts the fight by bashing the dragon in the head, and then they start fighting. At one point, Archaeon was swallowed whole, but the armor protected him from the dragon's stomach. So he hacked his way out, until eventually the dragon's throats and inside was just reduced to nothing but so much ground pork. And he plucked the eye from its stomach and hung it around his neck.
Nice.
Splendid.
Damn, I'm also in the mood for some crispy pork belly at the moment right now.
It sounds pretty nice.
Dude, I'm hungry now.
I am hungry.
I haven't eaten today, so
Put a whole brisket down my throat, please.
Okay.
the horrid gif I need to find, but we'll save that for later. Anyways, 3 down, 3 to go. Wait, 3? Yeah, 3, pardon me. There's the next treasure, because he's not getting the one that goes with the eye quite yet. The next treasure is not a thing or a mark, but his horsey, Dorgar, who has the following alternative names: Steed of the Apocalypse, which valid. Rontali, don't quite get that one.
Sounds like an Italian dish.
Gershi Ishfak.
What did you call me?
I hardly know it.
Don't know.
He's a flaming stallion, isn't he? He's literally on fire.
Yeah, he's a flaming stallion, and then in Age of Sigmar, he's a... I don't even know what I'm looking at, but we'll get to that later. This demonic steed was in the stable. I forgot the word stable. Pardon me. In the lair of a demon prince known as Agramon, which I can't tell if that's supposed to be like Agamemnon or a Pokemon.
Agamon Digivolves to something else that I've forgotten what it is.
He fights his way into the edge of the palace and then sneaks inside by like Assassin's Creeding and like hiding under like this demonic steed. Not Dorgar, a different one that was like part bug, part person, all parts awful. And he finds Dorgar by the smell of sulfur that the horse apparently emanates. Initially, it was just horse. There was nothing too special about Dorgar, but when he hopped on its back, it changed shape into its full, like, massive sized, lit itself on fire, and started running around all over the place trying to buck him off. But Archaeon tamed it, and together they got out of the realm of chaos, because this little bit was in hell. Every
time I've thought about this part of the lore, I'm just like, is his nutsack not just been fried?
He's in the armor. His nutsack.
Yeah, he's got the armor of Morcar.
But surely he's sweating.
I mean, that's the thing with like everyone learning to ride a horse. Like, isn't one of the first things they teach you to sway with the horse? Because otherwise, like, when it trots up and down, you don't go with it, and then when it comes back up, it's like bam, bam, bam.
Smash the two meatballs.
I just like how the horse his test was like, if you don't accept me at my smelly worst, you don't deserve me at my flamey best. Like, oh, that's a fun quirk for a horse.
It is a poison attack, D3 mortal wounds. Horse fart.
The second to last artifact he needs is, of course, the Slayer of Kings, which, for those of you who don't know, is a real-life blade they give to really good painters.
Yeah.
I think, the people who win a Golden Demon get the Slayer of Kings. It was the sacred blade of the second Everchosen, whose name is Vangol, and I think the only time he's ever brought up might be this lore. But it's the blade of an Everchosen that has a greater demon called Uzul bound into it, which had been imprisoned for thousands of years and had gone completely mad with rage ever since then. It's I'm trying to think like if this is the hardest quest or not. It's definitely a problematic quest, though. He journeys to where it's located. To what is known as Chimera Plateau, however you say that. And he had gathered a big horde of followers to wage war against all of the, the chimeras and the other creatures guarding this massive mountain. And eventually Archaeon and 3 of his companions climb their way to the top of the plateau. Archaeon looks down across the rest of the world, swears he's going to be in charge of it. And then the mountain turns over on its side. And
I love this part.
It was realized that I'm not on top of a mountain. I'm on top of the father of the dragon ogre race, known as Kraken Rock the Black, who spends all of his time sleeping because basically it's too much energy to be awake, because he is the size of a mountain. Like,
jeez.
He's sloth maxing.
Yeah. And I guess the best comparison I can think of is Kolek, who is a legendary lord in Total Warhammer. He's like the size of a mansion. His dad is the entire community. His dad is the whole suburb.
His dad is the suburb.
Yeah. You versus the guy they tell you not to worry about. Yeah. The definition of that meme.
So the problem here is a big dragon monster thing. So he realizes that I'm the Everchosen Chaos. I'm not cut out for this nonsense. No, thank you. So him and his companions, they try and sneak past the monster, only to find out that the Slayer of Kings, he's like sleeping holding it.
Oh my god.
So Archaeon, one of his followers, was a cornate beastman, a princely beastman, named Ograx the Great. And priestly is important, remember. He's the strongest of the eyes Archaeon brought with, so he's like, okay, just lift one of his fingers up just enough that I can go in and grab the sword, which the beastman is just barely able to do. But then the demon inside the sword starts shrieking, just like
anytime someone touches it, it just goes like, fuck,
stranger danger, stranger danger.
I need an adult. Yeah.
that king of the hill, that's my purse. I don't know you.
Just imagining Zach from Smiling Friends, just his kind of scream. Yeah, that kind of voice would be amazing if that's what it sounded like.
There's no reason we can't assume it sounds like that. And that starts waking up Kraken Rock, and Archaeon's like, I really do not want to deal with this. Can't deal with it. What do? Stabs Prince Ograx in the chest.
to make it silent, because
to shut it up.
He's screaming into the echoes of his corpse.
Yeah, which does shut the sword up, because it's the Slayer of Kings after all. He was a prince of the Beastmen. That was close enough for the blade to shut up, and so he sheathed it. All of his surviving followers, they cheer him on, shouting his name, and it is off to get the last artifact, the sixth one.
To be fair, if your leader just shanked his most loyal lieutenant, the rest of us all like, yeah, man, yeah, you do it. Because I'm like, fuck it now, you know what I mean?
Do it to me, please.
Exactly. I hate my boss. Yes.
So here's the next one. And the timeline is it takes roughly 100 years for all this, right? But most of that time was spent looking for the Crown of Dominion, the last artifact. It once had the Eye of Shirian in it, but it had been lost to history, and he just had to find it. And that took him most of the decades he was out and about doing all this questing.
And most of this is in the Chaos Waste as well, isn't it? So he's he's half between reality and half in the realm of chaos.
Yeah, he's like there's the occasional, like, the first one was in Nagaroth and Dark Elf lands, but the rest of it is like he's walking all over Norska, he's walking over the Chaos Wastes. For Dorger, he went into the realm of chaos. He's going all over the place, and it took him forever to find this.
And I think for clarification, at this point, no one else really knows that. I guess there's like an Everchosen kind of out there, like
no. Obviously, his followers know what's coming, and of course, the Chaos Gods and plenty of demons are aware. But down south, they don't really know. Although, reading the Winds of Magic supplement for Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay, the poor old Wind of the Heavens colleges knew what was coming about 200 years in advance.
Oh no!
It's
everyone's just listening. It's like, he's on a gap century. It's fine. No, seriously,
it's almost too much prep, though.
Well, yeah. Plus. Oh,
go ahead.
Oh no, you go. Sorry.
I think it's like when something is, it's like what's the book? It's like the 3-body problem. When there's like a thing of like, by the way, the aliens are coming in about, was it a couple hundred years? It's like, well, shit. Like if humans have been to prepare for something for that so far in advance, like people don't often do very well with it because then there's like it's lifetimes beyond what the people who are doing it, who are
like not only is that not my problem, it's not my kid's problem, it's not my grandkid's problem, and then I'm dead. So
or it's like the housing crisis. It's like it is my kid's problem, but I'll be gone, so I don't care.
Or that, thanks, assuming Dad. We even get to caring about the kids.
The part in that book is like when in that version of it, like they have a few hundred years to play with. So in the beginning they start prepping, and there's like a phase in the middle where like humanity goes through an era of like maybe it's not really happening. Sort of thing. So I imagine it's sort of a similar thing of like they have the prophecies, but then people are like, oh, there's so many prophecies and all these doom and gloom things.
That was a while ago. Things are okay, and then one day everything's on fire. And you're like, oh,
it's like quickly, everyone prepare. Oh, really? For what? 200 years from now. They don't want you to prepare something for 200 years from now. We're like, yeah. People don't think that long term. Although also in the one where he's in Nagaron as well, didn't they also, like in terms of interactions, they think they fought off like a dark elf army?
Oh yeah, they did fight off like a dark elf army, and he gets help from Valkia by sacrificing like the heart of the sorceress leading the army. Yeah, I honestly just kind of forgot to mention it because
that happened.
It was really kind of like a.
It's like before the temple.
It was before the temple, and reading it, it almost felt like a random encounter.
Yeah, like because it happens near it, but then like
and
then eventually they win, and then they just go to the actual place anyway after. So it's just,
I'm sure he also killed plenty of other dark elves along the way because if it's Nagaroth, you're gonna find dark elves outside. But he doesn't technically find the crown of domination. Be'lakor tells him where it is, hoping that he'll be able to steal it after Archaeon hopefully dies trying to get it.
Oh, you're saying that a demon has ulterior motives? No,
say it ain't so.
No way.
Be'lakor's forever trying to, like in his background, or isn't it in fantasy? Like he was, because he was the first person or being or whatever to defect to chaos.
Yeah, he was that, and he was the first like demon prince, not only of chaos but of chaos undivided. So not an Everchosen, but he was in a way like filling the prototype of the Everchosen position, and he kept demanding more and more, and he wanted that back.
He thinks he should be the champion of all of chaos, and forever. Like, wasn't it like the thing of like each chaos god was trying to give him more power so that he would battle over like the other one or something, or like they were basically buying his affection, and then at one point they randomly all went, "What if we all just stop?" And then he was like, "Oh,
what if we just make our own? Why are we bothering with this guy?"
Yeah, they feel like, hang on, if we stop spending power or money on this guy, we get to keep it, and therefore he's not. He was getting too powerful to the point where he'd almost be like a fifth chaos god, wasn't he?
That's depending on like what you're reading. His goal is either to reclaim the position as their favored or outright become the fifth chaos god. Grand ambitions. You can't fault the man for having his shooting for the stars.
So if people were wondering like why is Be'lakor going through all this trouble, essentially it's he wishes to be where well, I guess is he Archaeon now, or is he still Daedric? When does he embrace?
He's Archaeon by this point.
Yes, Be'lakor wants to be in the position of Archaeon, and even more probably than him, because Everchosen is a servant of chaos, whereas Be'lakor wishes to be more than that. He wishes to be the whole. He's not the number two. He's number one.
Yeah. But Be'lakor does, he does lead him to this place. There was no trickery up to this point, and Archaeon didn't die. Spoiler alert! So there won't be any trickery. But that doesn't mean that it's an easy place to go through. The gateway, first off, is just this labyrinth full of monsters and demons. So he's got to do plenty of combat. On the way through, Nurgle hits him with every disease he's got in his cookbook that Archaeon just kind of barely like crawls through out of sheer like willpower. Barely passes that trial, but he's back at it after that. Tzeentch makes his like, I think he like transmutes part of his crystal labyrinth over where Archaeon's at. Archaeon solves that by just blindfolding himself, because he's like, if I try and look and think my way through this madhouse, it's not going to work. So he just blindfolds, puts his faith in his instincts and maybe the gods, and that sees him through Tzeentch's labyrinth.
It's like Rick and Morty, where they, instead of trying to beat the computer machine thing, they just have an algorithm where they just do random things, and they eventually, because of all the randomness, they slowly are able to get into the right position.
Yeah.
Like, you can't outsmart Tzeentch, so just don't even play.
Exactly. Yeah, he's just like, I'm not going to try. I'm just going to walk, and eventually I'll be there. Slaanesh, for her part, sends temptation after temptation, including popping up in front of Archaeon herself, which for just about everyone else is the lose condition. But Archaeon resisted the temptation, again, barely, but he made it. And he walks on to the inner gates of the shrine. And his final test, Skarbrand.
Wonderful.
I think it might also not be Skarbrand. Some of it I've read was it's a greater demon. Some of it said it was Skarbrand. Yeah. For the sake of, I just think it's fun, I prefer to choose to believe it's Skarbrand, but really it could be any greater demon. And he does strangle the greater demon with its own whip. So it might not be Skarbrand, because Skarbrand's got 2 axes. But as much as that also does sound like a little bit of BS, keep in mind he's got 5 of the 6 artifacts and the demon in his sword to draw power from. So he uses all of those to overcome the demon, and he walks up, lifts the crown of dominion. All of his wounds heal, and now all he needs to do to become the proper Everchosen is be coronated, which is Be'lakor's role to forever be cursed to crown the next Everchosen. Dang. So his last scheme didn't work. I guess second to last scheme, but we haven't gotten to that Gotrek and Felix book yet. And now the final Everchosen has been coronated.
It's where like in a sense, like up to this point, he's always just, people often say like, oh, it doesn't really sound like he made a choice or something. But the fact that he gets through all the trials, he actually fully embraces it, rather than it being like, I'm doing it because I want all this power and all that stuff. He actually he's a proper, corrupted being of chaos now. He's in the soup
here now. There's another conflicting thing I do want to mention now. It's that sometimes, that theory where if in 40K, if you kill everyone ever, the chaos gods won't draw sustenance anymore and starve.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Sometimes he seems to want to do that. Other times it's just, I really want to kill Sigmar. I hate that asshole.
Well, I think is he the way I rationalized it in my head, because I often found it was so you don't, his whole shtick was I don't want to be the Everchosen, so I'm going to go to the Chaos Waste and train to be the Everchosen. It was more like he hates everything. He hates him. He hates Sigmar. He hates his life. He hates the fact that he was forced to do this. So therefore, in his way, is he has control over one thing, which is embracing it. Yeah. That's his only thing he can choose to do. And therefore, if he could kill Chaos as well, who often, as much as Sigmar put him in this position, he would do it as well. He'd kill them.
Yeah, I imagine that's part of it. It could, and there's plenty of other ways if you'd like to rationalize it. It could just be he's so fractured by chaos that he's clearly not all in the head anymore. No one at this level of power is all there anymore.
Yeah, chaos itself is it is corrupting. It doesn't mean evil people are also evil, but you could have a good person and then chaos corrupts you and you are just fundamentally evil after that.
Yeah.
So Archaeon may be built different, but he's not built that different. To be I got all the chaos off and it didn't affect me.
It could be, again, he's trying to just grow strong enough through chaos to fight chaos, which not too much, little spoiler for towards the end of this, but he's getting kind of close in Age of Sigmar.
And what's your canon, do you think, Colin?
What's up?
What's your canon, do you think, for his reason?
I kind of think I think he's trying to use chaos to become strong enough to kill everything. And again, the first thing he did when realizing he fit the Everchosen prophecy was hang himself. If he got that strong, I don't think it'd be too out of character to take down everything in just this mad frenzy and then end himself after the fact. So that's kind of what I've always thought. But
very nihilistic, isn't he?
To give it a nicer way, they leave you room for your own interpretation. I will put it that way because I like to be nicer sometimes.
Should we read
to Archaeon?
Should we read a few more donos? There's been a couple.
Yeah,
indeed.
We've got about 9.
We finished this saga, this chapter.
Colin will wear a green hat.
Colin will wear. You want to go for Eli?
Thank you for the 2. When she tells my Mega Knob to go deeper, but I'm M5 inches. Crazy. Wow.
Insane.
Movement 5.
What a way to start. Ashbox for 5. Revenge for Hal bringing up the horse drowning. What do you think? What do you all think sloppity bar piper's toes taste like? I'm thinking blue cheese, that or Parmesan. I'd rather ignore that message ever happened.
No, you know what? I'll ignore the context, but I'm just gonna say it. If you don't like blue cheese, you have the palate of a child. Fuck you.
Yeah, that's real, Colin. That's a real Colin take right there. Taste.
Damn.
I love blue cheese.
What's your opinion on marzipan? I hate marzipan.
I don't know if I've ever had it.
Hate marzipan.
I'm gonna be honest. I just like cheese. Like I love cheese.
Like cheese is good, but marzipan gives me headaches.
If I ever become lactose intolerant, I'm Archaeon in myself.
I think mine when I was a kid.
Sugar, I like marzipan. I freaking love that stuff.
Normal, just straight up broccoli when I was a kid. Like just boiled broccoli. I didn't like it for some reason.
I used to just bite lemons, so would just eat lemons as like a 3-year-old.
Wow.
Awesome.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not for anything kind of now. Don't you dare people in the
chat for anything.
Clipped.
I still don't like onions. Like that's like the one like childish thing that I've kept with.
Like raw onion, or is it like cooked onion?
Most any onion, even like caramelized onions, I'm still not a fan of.
Actually,
everything else, I eat my veggies, I eat my greens, I love peppers. Now I just don't like onions. That's it. That's the one thing I've kept as a kid. I know. I just don't like onions. Unless it's an onion bro. Hang on, I love the onion bros. You can't do that to me.
Onion Knight, Dark Souls.
Al, do you want this one?
Angry Homunculus, £5. The way Archaeon defeated the spirit of Morkar reminded me of Isildur cutting off Sauron's fingers. Kill, maim, burn, kill, maim, burn, kill, maim, burn, kill. Thank you for using up the rest of your dono space. Appreciate that.
Isildur!
Cast it into the fire. Nah.
Angry Homunculus make a reference to Lord of the Rings earlier, I think, with good.
This is for you, Andy, I think.
Donkey Man USA, Andy and I are both wearing wife beaters. Rad. So me and Eli are both wearing rather slim vests, shall we say? Yours is a muscle shirt.
It really hasn't gotten through the allegations of its name, really. Like it really.
I don't think there's undoing that one. I'm gonna be honest.
Easily a label. Needs some rebranding.
You build 100 bridges. No one calls you a bridge builder. You beat your wife once.
But you burn one bridge.
Limper 106, thank you for the $2. Archaeon outdoing the not labors of Hercules. True. True and real.
Less master.
I was about to say more evil than that, but Hercules also strangled his wife. So
wow.
Greek mythology heroes they're not good people. That's
someone new here. I think Michael Gigliardi for
$2 donated earlier.
He did.
Thank you, brother. Here have $2 for the Eli Egg Fund.
Wow. There hasn't been an egg mentioned for a while.
It's been a while.
Deep cut. Yeah.
But that will be remembered.
Angry Homunculus for £2. How does that dragon compare to the Dragon Emperor?
Like the one Archaeon killed? Because
like the Forge World model?
There's not too much on the Dragon Emperor. We know he's like god tier powerful, but
he doesn't really interact with the mortal realm.
Like, you know, he's got his own emperor plan to hold off chaos, but the end times are still canon, as was explicitly mentioned by GW when the old world was first revealed. Yeah. So much like the Webway project, we can assume it didn't pan out.
I think they could just do it. You know, like there's supposedly meant to be like a new timeline-ish thing. Why can't they just say there's a new novel where like there's like a timey-wimey whatever bullshit thing happens, and then there's like, oh, this is an alternate timeline where the Warhammer Fantasy didn't end.
They could so easily just like say we're going down the Storm of Chaos timeline. It's like it's still right there. You don't even have to do the writing that way. It's already there.
Guys, you're overthinking it. All they have to do is do the Mario 2 thing where Mario at the end of the game wakes up and goes, and it was all a dream. And then we can have it back.
I wanted a dream, though. I like Age of Sigmar.
Also from Angry Homunculus for 2, Corn's test. You're getting jumped. Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it's Corn. There's no surprises for how Corn is going to test you.
And this guy's on your case.
I still love the last bit now. Or a rope this week for the €5.
Like Archaeon.
Be afraid of me. I persuaded 3 different artists to draw you pregnant. # drunk. # JK. # Slanesh feet tongue. # I'm just filling space here. Don't mind me. I'm just Drunnel Lamau.
Wow.
Drunnel.
Crazy.
We love the Drunnel.
Plenty of water as well. Remember, plenty of water.
Lots of water.
Sensible.
Yeah, brain box tomorrow.
Fellas,
that's all the donations.
God damn it! I want to play RimWorld now. I looked at my Steam. On my Discord, I saw a friend playing RimWorld, and I realized the update, like its DLC, came out today.
Wow.
Rim.
Yes, I've made that joke. There's a mod called Rim Job World that adds sex to the game. This bears nothing on the planet, nothing on what we're talking about, but goofy.
So Archaeon has donned this.
Yeah, Archaeon.
He is the Everchosen now.
Yes. So he gets about building his army, which, you know, amongst like Norskins and of course demons and proper Chaos Warriors. And it's called the Inevitable City, is where he's building his fortress before the what do you call it? The end times, before that hall begins.
They stole that for the Siege of Terror stuff, by the way. It's like the Impossible, like the Inevitable and Impossible City is literally in the in the end of the death stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Bruh.
Imagine Rogel Dorn walking through like the desert, like Corn puts his soul in, and he just looks over. It's like, that's Archaeon. What are you doing here?
That would be funky.
What's up, bro?
I mean, look, theoretically, Kaldor Drago saw the mortal realms and Sigmar ruling them. So I think that passage was like he saw 8 realities where the magic flowed as if it was the wind, ruled by a god king. Who could that be?
And there was Skaven Telecom as well, so never forget.
Yeah. But yeah, Archaeon begins, gathering his army. His first act against the Empire is to crush a Empire, Dwarf, and Kislev force commanded by one of the Empire's Archlectors. So he does that. He forces the Archlector to become a servant of Chaos. And now the Empire is properly aware, aside from those poor Celestial wizards who just had to live with that knowledge a couple hundred years in advance, that Chaos is coming and it's going to be another big storm. He grabs his various followers, pick a named Chaos character by the time of 8th edition, and you will probably find someone serving Archaeon. Arbal the Undefeated, the Egrim Van Horstman. Well, he's a Tzeentch guy, so he kind of does his own thing, but still, you got to pay lip service to the Everchosen. All the big bads of Chaos are bending the knee to the biggest bad.
Yeah.
So, before the end times, Storm of Chaos is very funny. I don't think we've ever kind of talked about it much.
I don't think so.
For those of you unaware, GW wanted the end times to happen before they did, but they did it when they were still a kind of cool company, and the results of the campaign would be determined by player matches.
Classic.
So, as I understand it, to help Chaos out, some armies got a bit of a buff during this time period, such as the Chaos Warriors.
Oh my gosh.
The problem was this attracted a lot of newer players to the army. The people who've been playing for a while stuck with their armies, add whatever new releases to it. But the veterans, were sticking with the Empire, sticking with, the High Elves, whatever, Dark Elves, whatever army they had. So the new players that don't really know how to play Warhammer were in charge of the buffed Chaos forces. And when the tabletop matches started rolling in, Chaos couldn't get past Kislev, which is the first, you leave Norska, that is the first country they run into. Couldn't get past.
Wow.
So Games Workshop started fudging the numbers a little bit. Chaos would lose at the siege of Prague. Suddenly they're past Prague. They'd lose at the edges of Ostermark. Suddenly Ostermark is burnt to the ground. They somehow got to Middenheim, which Archaeon, I will remind you, started all the way at the Chaos Gates, which is, the Chaos Wastes, which is near the North Pole. Archaeon got to Middenheim before Karl Franz got there from Altdorf, which, for comparison, Hal, Andy, one of you, imagine you get to Chicago before I do.
That would be pretty spectacular.
Without a passport.
Yeah. You also don't have a passport. You have to fight your way through customs.
Yeah. And you're paralyzed for a week.
It reminds you of the whole you're being chased by a snail, but it touches you, you die, but it's a snail pace.
So I don't know what the reason. I don't think they really gave proper reasoning for it, because Karl Franz must have just been cranking one out the whole time or something. So
meaning of whole hog.
Yeah. So, but eventually, they assault the walls of Middenheim, and the outrage in the fan base was growing to the point where they ratcheted that back. They were repelled. Sorry, guys. No, they're still here, but no, they didn't take the walls.
Jeez.
It is at this point that they realize everyone in the fan base is pretty unhappy with these decisions up to this point. But they still want Chaos to win. So they have the vote decided through a call-in. Who do you want to win? And everyone picked the Greenskins, who had lost their last match. So Grimgor, because the last orc match was lost, had fought one of Archaon's lieutenants, Vardek Krom, to a standstill, but his army was destroyed around him. So the way they framed it was Grimgor walked off from that fight to go get a new army, walked to Middenheim from across the World's Edge Mountains. So again, he's in the steppes of Asia right now, walks over to Berlin, basically. And as Archaeon is fighting Vultan, gains the upper hand even after a brief moment of actual fear and humility from a Chaos champion. Never thought I'd see that. Where he sees Vultan as a Sigmar tattoo, and he's like, oh god, Sigmar's back, he's gonna beat my ass. Which, funny as it is, I do like that as a moment of humility. I think more Chaos, more any Warhammer characters could use some of that. But
Vultan with his but can you explain who Vultan is just very briefly?
He is the reincarnation of Sigmar.
In his soul, though, not necessarily the god is Sigmar, right?
Yeah, it's weird. He's
got his aura.
Father, Son, Soul, Holy Spirit.
Mm-hmm.
He is the reincarnation of Sigmar, but he is not Sigmar, but he is.
It's like if Sigmar's birth, which is under the twin-tailed comet, sort of, almost like a prophesized, chosen one sort of thing. Vultan is also a chosen one, but he isn't necessarily Sigmar. He's another chosen one on the Empire side, and he wields. Does he wield Galmaraz at this time?
He would, yeah.
Yeah, I think. Well, I don't know if that's the official canon. It's Karl Franz gave it to him as a sort of you're the head of the church now. So
yeah, Karl Franz masterfully politicianed his way out of
giving up his entire
giving up the throne. So he's like, here, you are the head of the church. I will bow to you in all matters of the faith. This will please the people who will have my head if I don't acknowledge you as Sigmar. And it will keep the people who worship Ulrich from burning down my throne before Volton can sit on it.
Are you sure? I've got so many blacksmiths and amazing armories. I'll find something else. I got loads.
Volton has he has big hoop earrings and a lot of attitude, so he's ready to.
You think Volton carried his way to getting Galmaraz? Is that? Can I speak to? I am the manager. Oh, sorry.
Volton wasn't even that pushy for it. It was the rest of the Empire demanding Sigmar Reborn get the damn hammer.
He's born like a normal, like regular citizen.
He has almost the exact same origin story as Vulcan. And I don't know who was written first, so I don't know who was copying who.
Probably the 40k one was copying, to be honest.
Yeah.
Who was written first, Magnus or Magnus?
I think Magnus was written first.
Oh, glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
In vague terms, Magnus.
Yeah. So, but yeah, everyone says it'll be real funny. Total orc victory. And so Grimgor walks on in, sucker punches Archaeon, who just he doesn't kill him. He just decks him in like the face, or the nuts. Choose whatever you want to believe.
I thought he kicked him in the nuts.
Thought he headbutted him.
He like headbutt sucker punches.
It's just that scene from Avengers where Hulk goes smash, like you dull creature, smash, 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 smash.
I will admit to saying kicks him in the nuts more often than not because I just find it funny. I'm going to be honest, and also it's non-canon. It was very quickly declared non-canon alternate timeline by GW, so it's not like I'm ruining any lore because GW put it in the grave.
Special armor nuts, dudes. Calm down.
When he kicked him in the nuts, did it gong like a bell?
I'm sure it would have. Well, I mean, at this point, Dorger did obliterate his nuts.
We got Thankwall in the chat. Shout out Thankwall.
Yeah, yes. So then Archaeon sits there like, and there's so he runs for the hills to get away from both Karl Franz's approaching army, who's just now showing up to Middenheim, as well as Grimgor, who was just kind of shouting around that he's the best and then left to go get more orcs. And thus ends the Storm of Chaos.
Wow.
The only Chaos army that saw any meaningful wins were the Tomb Kings, who were lumped in with Chaos for some reason.
Bizarre.
To be honest, Chaos always get the short end of the stick. Even in the year of Chaos, there's not much Chaos going on.
I'm still convinced that, like, after the back-to-back punch of Cadia falling and Warhammer Fantasy ending, and then the Great Rift, they've been on perpetual pullback mode as far as Chaos goes.
Yeah, and Psychic Awakening being like, more warp shenanigans? Okay.
Psychic Awakening was the most nothing burger event.
Seriously.
It wasn't even, like, bad. It was just, like...
Nothing.
There are more human psychers. Does this change any rules? No. Are there more models? No.
Because they had
Emperor licking his lips for more banquets.
Do the Eldar get more psychic phases or like more powers or abilities? No, we're actually removing the psychic phase.
Yeah. Because it had Eldar lore in it, which means it was destined to be ignored.
Yeah.
In the Eldar lore was the Dark Eldar and the Craft Worlders were fighting.
Yeah, for real.
They didn't do anything.
Holy cow.
So now, now we get the
sorry.
Real. This is the real end times.
I have one last bitch. Jane Czar died, and it's Jane Czar, so it doesn't mean anything. They come back. But yeah, now the warm up end of the world, where GW was still listening to the audience, is gone. Now it's time to plug our ears and then send it.
Oh my gosh.
So same deal. In general, he's gathering his hordes. We're ready to go. I think it was the last one. It was the last or the one before the Gotrek and Felix at the Siege of Prague. I believe that was the last one. That was like kind of the warm up. It was still kind of technically the Siege of the Storm of Chaos warm up, but all those hordes coming down, Gotrek, Felix, various other champions are facing. That's that's Archaeon's opening act. So it's time to fight, but the end times were kicked off by Nagash, not Archaeon. Archaeon was probably going to spend a little bit longer gathering his forces, and then Nagash ate the afterlife and was about to become chaos through his rituals.
Ugh.
So Archaeon just started panicking, much like the rest of the Chaos Gods. So he looked at his forces, and, well, originally he was going to go, like, all right, let's go deal with this. Problem. Balthasar Gelt put up the walls from Attack on Titan around all of the Empire, and he can't get in because the walls, like, again, this is a fantasy setting. The walls are so high that they reach the clouds.
Wow.
Like the
Were they magical or are they real walls?
They're real walls, like they are physical, but they're held up by magic and faith combined.
Nice.
So like the prayers of Sigmar and Ulrican priests, as well
Warhammer-y.
as wizards.
They just implement that staircase from Mario, like thing where it goes up and up and up and up and up. If you don't have enough stars, that's what they use.
Yeah, Archaeon neither had enough stars nor did he know how to backwards long jump. So
No.
so
the pole vaults attempts were crazy that year.
yeah, so he takes stock of his forces and how he could possibly keep Nagash from winning. Khorne wandered off to burn down Nagaroth, and because Malekith was leaving to go take Ulthuan with every dark elf, I mean, Khorne did burn down Nagaroth, but the only one left in it was Marathi. He left behind because she's a dick. So Khorne's doing that. Tzeentch, this is Warhammer Fantasy. Tzeentch doesn't do anything. So there you go. That's what Tzeentch was doing. Slaanesh was having a lovely time with the elves, so she's occupied. Nurgle, please go deal with that demon, with Nagash. As well as a massive horde of beastmen, but let's be honest, the threat there is terrible. I'm forever sorry, beastmen fans. You make Eldar fans look loved. Which this does succeed. Nagash is, and through help with the Skaven, who come to Archaeon with an alliance proposal he accepts. Because we will have the end of the world and the rats will join the bad guys. Well, no, the rats are the good guys. What am I saying? They join the bad guys. But so Nagash is dealt with. He's still very powerful and still an incarnate of the wind of death magic, but he's no longer been able to ascend to become a chaos god of undeath, which would have broken reality because those two things do not mix well, and he would have been in charge of both. So that crisis averted, barely. Time to deal with this goddamn wall of faith. The Auric Bastion. So this is solved. Archaeon sends in the Changeling, who takes Balthasar Gelt for a wild ride. Balthasar Gelt, at this point, had learned a little bit of necromancy from Vlad to keep the Auric Bastion up. So that's, again, I know we all love Vlad in the real world, in universe. Vlad is like that is the funny mustache man of the Warhammer fan. As far as the Empire is concerned, they do not like Vlad. Or necromancy. Balthasar Gelt is now a necromancer trained by Vlad von Karstein. So it's not looking great, and he's killed at least one Elector Count to hide that secret. He's trying to really track down the Changeling, though. And he swears it's Vultan. He swears to God it's Vultan. And Karl Franz is about to give Vultan Galmaraz. So he starts like screaming like, don't do it. Don't give it to him. Stop. Everyone, he's like ushered away by the guards. So he just gives up. He just starts raising zombies to attack Vultan.
Oh my gosh.
Whereupon the warrior priest he'd been traveling with was revealed to be the real Changeling, who's then dealt with. So Gelt leaves. Gelt's off to just stop trying and become an outright apprentice of Vlad.
I don't really know much about Gelt beside the memes, but is it fair to say that Gelt is a bit of a loose cannon?
Yeah. He scammed his way into Altdorf by way of fake gold on a taxi driver. He's the most powerful metal wizard there is. He was still powerful at this time. He didn't need to scam that guy. He did.
He's the only leader of the College of Magic, basically, who still has a bounty on his head because in a Tilea, the country to the south, because he literally still has like a warrant.
He's got one there, and he does have a bounty from the taxi driver he scammed. The problem is he basically just goes, "Go ahead and claim it." Gelt's out, and because the wall was being held up by faith and magic, they don't have much faith in the creation of the guy who started summoning zombies on the Emperor and Sigmar reincarnated. So the Auric Bastion comes tumbling down. There was cracks in other cases. Where else but Gotrek and Felix? There was a breakthrough at one point, and then Vlad himself intervened to stop it, as well as what if you gave Snorri 10,000 pounds of gunpowder?
I'd like to know.
We'll get to that.
Yay!
But so it had been breached slightly in a few places. Now it's coming down. So Archaeon's now coming on in, and the green light to invade the Empire is here. So Archaeon's still kind of been held up for a while. Like, aside from the thing with Nagash, because Sylvania had its own smaller wall around it, the Auric Bastion was the sequel to the one Gelt put up around Sylvania. He's still been held up at that for the longest time. So he's got to make up for lost time. So it's off to Middenheim he goes. It's kind of like Storm at Chaos. He can't quite get through the walls. In comes Teclis, who by this point in the story, all that nonsense on Ulthuan had gone down. Tyrion's dead. Cain is kind of gone. His sword is now just a piece of metal that Malekith hawked into the sea anyways. Teclis wants his brother back, even after all this scheming and Tyrion going a little bit insane. It's still his twin brother. So Teclis he took Tyrion's horse and was carting around Tyrion's corpse on just a cart. And he snuck his way into Middenheim, rips out the flame of Ulrich that was keeping the city safe, which does bring back Tyrion, and now Middenheim falls.
Honestly, Teclis is
classic elf.
My man is actually probably he tried to save the world, and then he also is the reason that it failed.
Poor Teclis was like one of the smartest, nicest people in the setting, and then the end times happened, and then they made him awful.
And then he was like, he's like, what? It'd be fun and very, very necessary. What if we sacrificed my niece? What if I just, on a flaming pyre, put my niece and then resurrected an undead god who will potentially destroy the universe?
Here is this elf that believes only through helping mankind can the elves survive, and fostered relations between them. Yeah, have him burn down Middenheim.
And did a worse Stannis Baratheon. Crazy.
So Archaeon now, he takes Middenheim. It's conquered. He starts fighting Valten as well. Valten is here, which is going kind of both ways. It's a very even fight. And then a Vermin Lord comes from behind and decapitates Valten. Which pisses Archaeon off because, like, hey, that was mine, dickhead.
Kill steal.
Yeah, but now Archaeon has Galamaraz and is not pleased with what just happened. So after this, they set up camp in Middenheim, in the throne room where the flame of Ulfric once burned, just to really rub salt in the wound. And
thinking of the Voltan stuff, that's kind of his symbolic revenge on Sigmar in some way. So that's kind of why he's not like, oh, it's a kill steal. It was just like, this is my revenge, bro. So you took that from me again. someone else killed stealed and ruins his whole day.
Yeah. At this point, he also discovers a third Old One's warp gate, which he realizes if he can if he can mess with this a little bit, he can activate a third warp rift, just like the ones at the North and South Poles, and devour the world. So they get to work on setting that one up. In the meantime, there's still all of those incarnates of the Winds of Magic and, all the people that would rather he don't do that. So the Glut can go to deal with Altdorf, his Nurgle, his Nurgle underlings, which they do, and they flood the city in pus. And no, that is not made up. They do that. Yeah. They even put Vlad out of the fight because he stabs them with his sword that drinks blood. Unfortunately, they are Nurgle champions. So every disease in the book upon ye, Vlad. But Sigmar returns as the Glut can de-arm Karl Franz figuratively and literally as he calls out to Sigmar to save him. Sigmar inhabits his body, purges Altdorf, and it's time to fight again. So he sends Kairos Fateweaver now to deal with Karl Franz, which didn't work. So Archaeon cuts off his head and uses the blood to summon Kabanda, hoping that the direct approach will have a bit more success.
Kabanda's mighty Slong of Cygnus. Shout out.
So crazy that Kairos did not see that coming. Crazy.
I mean, Kairos doesn't have a good track record. Even the lion, he's like, I'm going to try and get the lion on my side. And he's like, hey, you can see the future, yeah? Yeah? Stabs in the gut. Did you see that? And you're like, oh, lion. Oh.
I still don't get it. He can't see the present. What do you mean?
No, it's basically that thing from Metal Gear Solid where you put the controller in the second port. That's what the lion did. You use the second controller. Psycho Mantis. Anyway.
During this time, everyone else is kind of gathering against him, and they go to fight. Kabanda and all the Bloodthirsters and Cornate Demons that were summoned kind of don't want to wait for the Incarnates to come to them, so the Archaeon just kind of sets them loose, go have at it. Which, to be fair, Kabanda tanks the entire Wind of Fire to the face, and then kills the Incarnate of Fire. Because the world will be ending. I don't care that entire Wind of Magic was just shoved on me. I'm him. Before Nagash chokes him out, such is his power. And the fight begins with the Incarnate Teclis pulling a funny. He's back at it. He tries to teleport everyone to Middenheim. He does. Middenheim is a big place. So they're all kind of scattered, and Teclis lands at Archaeon's feet. He starts making fun of Archaeon, like, Sigmar's back in Karl Franz's body. Bet you didn't know that. So Archaeon just punches him in the face and ties him up. Don't know why I didn't just kill him, but who knows?
Shut up, nerd, said Archaeon.
Pretty much that. It's shut up, dork. During this time, he'd also gotten a couple people on his side, including Isabella von Karstein, who was possessed. Sigvald is there.
Goat.
Throg is also there. Manfred is skulking around because he's the worst.
Didn't Archaeon call him a leech, didn't he? Because
did.
Manfred was like, "Oh, I'll join you because I'm powerful, I'm great. I'll join you." And
I've always been a fan of yours.
Yeah, I think he literally went like, "Fuck off, leech," or something. He's like, "You're useless."
So he doesn't give no position of power. He's just like, "You can hang around, sure."
Yeah.
And Cetra, who is not quite serving him. He's just kind of playing along for a bit. So the final battle is commencing. The Incarnates are all here. Teclis is freed and pulls another funny one and teleports every orc ever into the fight, including Grimgor, and who is the Incarnate of Beast Magic. So before the final fight, Grimgor doesn't step up. I'm getting things out of order. Grimgor just goes to fight the first person he sees, which is the Incarnates, before Malekith says that, Grimgor, you are the best, and that Archaeon thinks he's the best. So Grimgor roundly turns around and goes to beat the shit out of Archaeon, which, to be fair, in spite of everything Archaeon has, the blessings, the armor, like the future-seeing device, Grimgore's still running his fate. He is still beating his ass. Headbutts him so hard that the Eye of Shirian just breaks. So the future-seeing's gone now because an orc took his head to it.
Didn't see that coming, did he?
No, he didn't. Much like Kairos.
Well, again, how can you plan for something who's not thinking anywhere ahead? He's just like, I just do this now. Yay!
You can't see Grimgore's plans. You can't see his plan strikes because there is no battle plan.
Backhand, then shits himself. Then invests in like stocks and shares, and then attacks again.
Man, is literally the plan is improvise, and it's always the plan.
There is no battle plan. This is Grimgore Ironhide. You're getting jumped. But as Storm of Chaos round 2 will not be happening, and so Archaeon breaks free the demon in the Slayer of Kings, and beheads Grimgore in one fell swoop.
Sad.
Damn. R.I.P. King.
Despite this, something that the end times I feel like not a lot of people know. They actually retook Middenheim, the Incarnates. They had driven Chaos off, in part helped by Cetra, no doubt, who had cut off Kolek Sun-Eater's head, cut off a greater demon that was attacking Nagash's head, and then said, I'm going to kill all the Chaos Gods, and walked into the demon horde. So,
what a goat.
You cannot fault the man for, again, the ambition. Unfortunately, in spite of this, and in spite of Middenheim being retaken, and Archaeon got tossed into a warp rift.
Who was he fighting? He was fighting the Carl Franz / Sigmar.
Yeah, he got yeeted in by Carl Sigmar.
How did Carl Sigmar get Galmaraz back?
Archaeon had it up as a trophy. He wasn't using it because that would kind of be like Horus using the Emperor's sword. Like you're just gonna blow up. You're going to light on fire.
Blessed Figmar. Frigmar, like Franz Sigmar.
I see.
Fragmar, like frag, like quake.
Thank you for the F's in chat, by the way. I appreciate that, guys.
Yeah, F. But Archaeon claws his way back out. The ritual to stop. We've gone through this before. The ritual to stop the warp rift from overtaking the world is almost stopped. Manfred von Karstein stabs Gelt in the back. No one can. Teclis tries to compensate by taking on now a third wind of magic, because I believe he took on fire as well, and his staff already had light in it, so he falls apart. Manfred then gets stabbed in the back by Tyrion in return. The last scene, third to last scene of Warhammer Fantasy is the Chaos Rift swallowing Middenheim, and Archaeon and Sigmar wrestling over Galmaraz and falling into the rift.
Which, to be fair, like, isn't it Archaeon goes on to survive because he's literally fighting with Sigmar Franz, basically. They get thrown into the realm of chaos, don't they? And in some way that means like their bodies are not destroyed.
They get thrown into the realm of chaos, but at some point, at least Sigmar leaves chaos into the void.
Yeah, so they do break it, but essentially Archaeon didn't get his wish though, which was like,
no,
I would be obliterated with the end of the world, so there I'm free. Now.
Yeah, no, they're very much still both around. Also of note is that the last place to fall was Athel Loren, which has like the oak of ages, like this tree of life whose roots span the entire world. The second to last place to fall was the fucking Moot. Which means that in terms of defense against chaos, it goes ancient eldritch tree of life that can warp reality. The Shire, if a racist person who hated halflings designed it.
It's
bruh. I guess we're not really going to the Age of Sigmar stuff, but Archaeon again is still around though. Oh, we are. Oh, never mind. Excuse me.
How long have we been going? We could save that for later if we want.
Please do.
We can do a quick version of it. It has been a minute. So his plan, unfortunately, to kill everyone ever probably would have never worked, because it turns out, at least in fantasy, It's a bit of a multiverse. And Archaeon succeeded in the last world, so the Chaos Gods kind of keep throwing him at new universes, which supposedly in between the time of Sigmar and the Mortal Realms forming and his pantheon being born anew, Archaeon was off just ass-blasting realities across the multiverse.
Should we say, like, in fantasy, it is explained, like, it's almost like a cycle, isn't there? Where essentially the world, or whatever universe,
chaos destroys a world, the survivors become the new gods of the next one, all is good, chaos comes in, and then it's not good.
So one's like Tal, Mor, or the Elven gods, which are Cain or Assyrian. They are people who they were just mortals of previous realms or things that existed, and they basically survived on. Then their legends kind of combined with magic itself.
It's never too explicitly stated like how the human gods fit in, but at least the Elven gods are explicitly like reincarnations. But Archaeon, he's the grand villain. He's got to make a proper entrance. So chaos starts seeping into the mortal realms. They all come under attack. Sigmar's pantheon is still a little divided. It's the Age of Myth is coming to a close. The Age of Chaos is coming. Cracks are starting to appear. And as more and more cities and parts of the realms fall, Archaeon makes his grand appearance.
With like a wrestling theme song and like fireworks.
Yeah.
It's like, you ain't seen nothing yet. Duh, duh. Baby, you ain't seen nothing yet. Oh no, he's back again.
Shout out to the guy who said screw Sterling, by the way. Sterling.
Yeah.
Sterling can get it. To be fair, we just in the context of Age of Sigmar, though, like when we said like things like Age of Myth and Age of what was the one after Age of Myth? I think it's Age of Chaos, isn't it? But Age of Myth in this new universe / realm is like thousands and thousands and thousands of years. So Archaeon has not been. Chaos hasn't really touched this new realm, as like, I guess only in the form of magic, really. But like it's been.
But even then, like the mortal realms magic is kind of not quite chaos magic, because now magic comes from the realms rather than filtering out through the realm of chaos. So it's weird. Although there were also beastmen here before chaos showed up properly, so who fucking knows?
Beastman just getting the raw end of the deal every time.
And look, if you exist on a square part of a fantasy, like if point at a map on Warhammer Fantasy, there's a beastman there.
Yeah,
you can assume
there's a beastman, and then there's 10 people pointing, going, beastman.
Yeah,
leave him alone.
You leave Altdorf, there are beastmen.
In the same way that there are races that are, I guess beastmen technically are just like their own old race. Like, is it what's the one in Norse? Is it Fimir?
Fimir, yeah.
Yeah, like they technically were in the world before chaos, but like they're one of the early worshippers of chaos. So I guess beastmen technically are a thing before chaos, and then there's like basically chaos is like them now intertwined.
So slowly but surely, the first one is that the Archaeon's his sign just burns into the sky across the realms. Cities, kind of like that bit where it happened like before 7th edition moved the timeline forward. Statues in Sigmar's realm start weeping tears of blood. Bad things are coming. And then at the Battle of Burning Skies, Archaeon makes his appearance. Sigmar is there. He takes his followers to fight Archaeon. Sigmar is Sigmar. He's every swing of his hammer is another greater demon obliterated from existence. But apparently Sigmar is like Sauron, and if he doesn't have his hammer, he's not at full strength. So an illusion of Archaeon has Galmarez whipped at it by Sigmar. It flies into a portal to the realm of chaos, and Sigmar is like, well, I lost. Time to go home. So Archaeon, there's a point called the 8 points, or no, the All Points, which is a place where you can go to any of the mortal realms from the same spot. He conquers it because that's a very handy thing for a chaos war leader to have, and he renames it the 8 Points, and this is now his fortress. And from there, again, to keep it a little bit summarized, he just goes on a smashing spree across all 8 realities. The only person to beat him was Malekith, And it's and it was explicitly said he was the only person on Chaos strong enough to beat Nagash, but he did still beat Nagash. It didn't matter too much because he killed Nagash in the afterlife realm, so he just kind of went home.
You can't kill death.
It's like, okay, you got me. I'll see you again in a week, asshole. And he began raising hell, quite literally. Age of Sigmar, for those who don't know, is technically post-apocalyptic, because for a couple hundred years, Archaeon and his hordes were just raiding hell across the mortal realms. He, what do you call it? He has his own new souped-up version of the warriors, the Swords of Chaos, called the Varangard, who, when he's not around, they lead his armies. When he is around, they're his mightiest warriors. He sends at the greatest of threats. The only realm that didn't have his presence was Azerheim, or Azir, because Sigmar pretty firmly shut the gates on anyone else coming in at a certain point. When the Stormcast Eternals arrived, sure enough, they made a go at Archaeon. They did pretty good at fighting through his armies, and then one of them fought Archaeon, and didn't go so well for those guys. They had to get reforged very promptly. And there's, like I mentioned earlier, there's hints that that godhood plan that I do believe is kind of not far off, because it's gotten to a point that whenever the Chaos Gods like throw a little test at him, see how he's doing, smashes it, like, without fear. He felt confident enough in his own power to ignore the blessing of the Horned Rat, who he spits in the face of, who's a full-blown Chaos God by this point, so he's at least strong enough to avoid retribution on that front. He
Horned Rat literally went, "Joke's on you, I like that stuff." Like, didn't need to know that, Horned Rat.
He almost freed Slaanesh from the prison that the elves had put her in. But at the last minute, you know, the things started going wrong. Marathi was doing utter nonsense. Other factions were bothering him. Had to pull away, and the elves tightened security a bit, but she's a little bit closer to being weakened. He might also become Slaanesh, because a lot of the Slaanesh worshippers have chosen to start worshiping him as the new god of excess. Look, he's goofy, sure, but he does have explicitly the mark of Slaanesh and the blessing. And Everchosens are all four Chaos Gods as might poured into one person. So there are worse candidates.
Slaanesh isn't dead, though, is she?
No, she's locked. No, she's locked away by the elves.
Yeah.
That is a moving storyline. Like, they have done stuff with and gotten her closer to break it out, but
they're like kicking her stomach so she throws up elven
elf
souls.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And his latest thing was during fourth edition. I cannot say.
Excuse me.
Fourth edition's launch, when the Skaven brought Skaven Blight to everywhere at once, he decided to go to Shyish. He's sick of dealing with Nagash's garbage, and is trying to just at least cripple him long enough to where he can not worry about, like, the OCR for a couple of years. So he's back stronger than ever. For once, the forces of order, though, are just as juiced up. Sigmar's got his Stormcast now. It's it's the playing field is much more even than when Archaeon's mostly been depicted in Warhammer, for fantasy at least.
And his mount has changed as well.
It's still Dorgar, but Dorgar is that is not a horse. That is not a horse.
It's like a Hydra dragon thing.
Yeah, it has
chimeric.
The Tzeentch, Nurgle, and Khorne heads.
Slaanesh.
Slaanesh is, again in jail.
Shafted once again.
And the horned rat was also told to piss off from the fancy demon horse.
I don't know. I'm kind of glad that Slaanesh isn't part of that amalgamation, because you don't know what part it's going to be. It could be
it's in a different position.
Might not be PC. I'm just saying.
I did have the slightest bit about tabletop, unless you'd.
I had one last thing about it, which is like, do you think he even remembers? Because, like, when example, like in Techless and Age of Sigmar, he kind of like he knows he's Techless and he has some memories of like the world that was, but like it comes in like flashes. Do you think with Archaeon now, because obviously he's been Archaeon for who knows how many eons in his perception of time, does he even remember
Archaeon get hot flashes? Well,
I was saying, like, does he remember being like Diedrich Kastner? Do you think at any point?
I'm sure he's got some stuff. Like he definitely remembers at least some of it.
But he must be like he's been Archaeon so long. It's almost like he's fighting, but he has no idea why he just fights to end the fighting sort of thing. He doesn't even remember any previous purity of reason or life. He's literally a monster.
Just on occasion, he sees the descendant of someone what he killed way back when. He's like, "Have I killed you before?" It's like, "No, that was my great grandfather." Ah, okay.
Yeah.
So it's from before then. Poor fella.
His stats are suitably. He cost 840 points.
Jesus.
Basically, anything you point him at is going to swiftly die, especially because if he rolls a 6 with a Slayer of Kings for a wound roll, they just die.
What's that compared to like a Primarch mini in 40k?
Primarchs aren't even close to that.
The Lion is like, and Gilliman do have like the Lion. So the Gilliman, wields the Emperor's sword, and I'm pretty sure that thing like it hits on 2s, and it has a thing where it's like it does have devastating wounds. But I don't think it could like outright kill something like a.
There's no insta killing anymore.
Unless
insta kill.
It's like unless a model specifically has a rule that says ignore insta kill effects, which like 5 do, you're just dead, and it deals 3 damage a pop anyways. So you're probably dead anyways. 25 wounds, 3 up save, 5 up ward save. He's a wizard. What if I just killed you?
He wasn't originally a wizard, though, was he? Like he
was
through chaos.
Oh no! Oh yeah, no. I thought you meant like tabletop. No, he became a wizard through chaos.
A fire wizard in Touchable Warhammer, isn't he? But like,
yeah,
he kind of is more of a. Again, he's a warrior sort of thing. The magic enhances his abilities, but he's more of a. Like he has magic because he's corrupted by chaos, but he's not a wizard.
It's his fantasy stats are even worse, which I know at least Eli would be able to appreciate this stat line. Where is it? Movement 4. That's not much, right? Weapon skill 9, ballistic skill 5, strength 5, toughness 5, 4 wounds, initiative 7, attacks 5, and leadership 10.
Crazy.
He's going to kill you.
He's that secret character you need cheat codes to unlock, but the cheat code is just money.
He also has a 1-up armor save.
Oh man.
Fuck you.
Awesome.
Do you think
is that just because Chaos armies have been so legendarily bad for so long? They're like, screw it. Archaeon's going to be overpowered to compensate.
To be fair, he was 855 points. Although then again, in 8th edition, they dropped him down to 580, and he had the same stat line. So,
wow.
Would you say, but putting Archaeon versus Abaddon, what makes Archaeon come out on top?
I mean, one is the obvious. I know it was author fiat, but again, he did end the world. Like.
He won.
Well, Abaddon ended our world. It was called Cadia.
It's true. Abaddon has a lot more cut out for him.
I mean, he
does have a whole galaxy to cut through.
He's broken a lot of worlds.
He has.
Nasty boy.
I don't know. I'm more partial to Archaeon. One is this is a very basic thing. I just think Archaeon looks cooler. Like I think that armor is sicker, and either flaming horse or whatever I'm looking at with Dorgor nowadays. I don't know what to call that. Whatever it is, it looks cool.
Yep.
He's playable in a video game. I know some of these are not necessarily Abaddon's fault, but they do still help Archaeon be a bit more appreciable. Like you can throw them at people. Aside from that, some of it seems like Abaddon was almost like handed the position. It's like
you you just gave me a point. We were talking about Gothic Armada a while back. In the game where Abaddon is in it, it's not canon, but the character who's his subordinate beats Gilliman in a naval battle and then captures him. And then he tries to usurp Abaddon's and that's in the game where it's a chaos campaign. Like Abaddon gets cucked in his own game part.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, by Thanos from the Word Bearers. It's crazy.
I think I prefer Archaeon over Abaddon in the sense that it's very clearly put out in like the Night Lords trilogy when like Talos, the Night Lord, literally first meets Abaddon, and Abaddon basically they're conquering this world, and then it's like it's going well, but then like the Blood Angels and Imperium show up, and they have to like retreat because Abaddon hasn't got the right forces, and he has too many renegades and not enough like proper legionaries and stuff. It's the thing where like Abaddon in itself is like Archaeon is what Abaddon wishes he could be. Like Abaddon is a very effective commander, but in a world where there are Primarchs and resources beyond what Abaddon can muster together, it's a reason, basically Abaddon can never have the success of what Archaeon could pull together. You know what I mean?
To be fair, he did beat Marneus Calgar up, but until he beats a Primarch, I don't think we're going to really treat him that seriously because Sigismund wounds him, he gets beaten by Nathaniel Garrow, technically with the help of Endred Har and the Blood Angels guy and someone else. It's like three of them gang up on Abaddon during the Siege of Terra, and he's like, and he almost gets killed by Garrow.
There's too many teleport away Abaddon moments, isn't there? Archaeon doesn't have that.
Archaeon, and he I feel like he uses like all four bits of the Chaos Gods a lot better than Abaddon does, because Abaddon's good general, damn good warrior, but Archaeon acknowledges he lives in a fantasy world and uses that. Like obviously, Khorne, he can smash with the best of them. But like in Age of Sigmar, he traps like a bunch of Tzeentch summoners and they amplify the weaknesses of anyone coming. So when he tries to send some Khorne warriors after these summoners, they just fall to rage and chop each other to pieces. Archaeon, he traps them like in their own tower and like amplifies their fears against them. Like it feels very Tzeentchian when he deals with people like that.
He embraces chaos to the full.
He uses the fantasy powers he's at his disposal, which Abaddon kind of refusing to do that in some ways does make him compelling in his own way. But I feel more interested in the guy who's reveling almost in his fantastical powers. Plus,
and also, I was going to say, and it sounds like a big part of his character is he's pitted against Sigmar as a specific target. Like, I hate this freaking guy.
Yeah.
Oh, he's a god. That just happens to be like Abaddon's like, I hate the Imperium, kind of hate the Emperor, but I'm not massively he wants to depose the Emperor, but his gripe is with the Imperium entire, whereas the grudge match with Archaeon is Sigmar. You're like, we're not going to see a grudge match with the Emperor, I don't think.
Plus, I mean, it did happen to Archaeon a little bit, but going to seeing Archaeon go through that journey to get the treasures of chaos makes it feel a lot more earned. It was towards the Horus Heresy, they were kind of suddenly Horus wasn't even gone yet, and they're suddenly come on, Abaddon, be the next big guy. We know you wanna. Come on, let's put you in that position. Which again, Abaddon did fight tooth and nail for that. Killed the clone of Horus, gathered all the war bands. He put in work too. It's just I just feel like that's.
He went on a sabbatical.
He needs a quest. Abaddon needs a Archaeon style quest.
He's already done it. He did his dark pilgrimage, and he's like, I learned how to brew alcohol with Promethium. It's great.
Which from the point of view of a man who respects a good drink, good for you, Abaddon. But
and there is a bit in the Black Legion first book where it's and he went through the Eye of Terror and he went to all these things and he killed all these things. It just kind of done all of a sudden. You're like, oh, I would have loved to read a book where it's I get to see that, but it's nah, you just see him displaying all the things he's done off screen. You're like, oh.
Abaddon needs the third Black Legion book, whenever it comes out, needs to show Abaddon on his quest to basically get Drachnien or something. There needs to be some kind of and then he actually, became the full incarnation of himself rather than I mean, maybe that's wishful thinking, but Archaeon's story is pretty. It's hard because like he is successful in killing the franchise that you love, but also in a way like it didn't feel like it was handed to him. You know what I mean? Like it feels like he earned his thing of like he went through the whole journey of becoming the Everchosen, and he was actually, strong enough to basically become the villain of his own story. Yeah, big ups.
Fantasy is just better than 40k.
Hoorah!
Arrest him!
There's a lot more character development in a fantasy world than there is in an entire galaxy world.
You can definitely still zone in on it. They just don't choose to do it.
I think it's the thing with like it's just a fantasy always feels like it has an arc or a story, whereas 40k it's just an ongoing.
Because nothing matters in 40k.
I will say, although I do know, it's quite well known. I agree with Eli on that point. I will say part of the charm of 40k is the sandbox. Make your own stories.
Yeah,
that's why it was locked at M40999 for like 20 real life years.
Yeah,
we can't say
they're like M01242. I gotta get a move on, guys. We've barely started. It's 900 years to go.
I think 40k does a better exploration of chaos than a lot of other things, but as in like it often really struggles with what is like undivided chaos, because in a way like it always says like that's just it's just quote unquote evil.
Yeah,
but like whereas like it doesn't have the vices of each particular chaos god.
Sir, this is Warhammer 40k. Everyone here is evil. I'm gonna need more than that.
But you know what I mean? As in like it
except for Commander Farsight.
Like it goes into the vices of like what is each particular version of like corruption or chaos, whereas like chaos undivided is quite hard to do because
it's just kind of
none of the each one particularly strong. It's all of them in a mixed way, or even it's just evil in the
it is in 40k. It's just kind of like awkward, like evil juice.
Yeah.
It's like, sir, are you lobotomizing or eating the babies? Please pick
one of them is a good holy imperial practice.
We need cherubs to carry the ammunition. It's fine.
I didn't like you saying with the Archaeon story though. He's willing to he fluctuates between using each one as a strength rather than I'm Abaddon and I'm evil. It's I am Archaeon and I'm using the Tzeentch stuff today. I'm embracing Khorne today. I'm embracing Slanesh or embracing Nurgle today.
Which again does show up on the tabletop with him being a wizard, him being unbelievably strong, him being not only for a Warhammer Fantasy character having an unbelievable amount of attacks that do a lot of damage, which is Slanesh and Khorne showing through. The variety of him being the Everchosen of chaos is in display in lore and tabletop, and I feel Abaddon could use a bit more of a hand on that front. Which again, if they want to keep him like kind of refusing to go all chaos, you can do cool things with that, but you need to do the cool things with that. Getting your ass beat by Eldrad doesn't count. Much as I appreciate it.
Do we have any more donations to go through before we
do
wrap up?
We have 7 at the moment. So one from Bolger's Beef Paste, £5. The most British name ever. Which is more badass? A dwarf slayer jumping into a horde of demons yelling Grimnir, or a blood angel leaping into a horde of demons yelling Horus?
I think the Grimnir is obviously
good.
Yep.
Stocky Rage is fun. We love Stocky Rage.
Oh,
Rich
my
Mac.
God.
Thank you for the 5 New Zealand dollars.
Thank you.
Long live Forehead Crimes. Thank you. Thanks for all the content to get me through work. You are welcome. Thanks for showing up.
Man. No problem.
Thank you.
Limber 106, $5. Carl Frack late to Middenheim due to gooting to Emmanuel von Leibowitz.
Wow.
Maybe.
Cool, Peter.
Bro, please.
Clean yourself. Sounds like Colin likes this one. I don't know.
No, I don't like this one. Even Black Templars had more going on during the Psychic Awakening.
It's tough stuff.
Thank
you for the $10.
I've just seen Beastman from Sweden in the chat. Bro, where have you been? This is a fantasy episode. Where have you been, man?
Oh, he donated, I think.
I missed him? Okay.
I think it was a different Swedish person.
That message right there is the why the fantasy settings are better. Even if even if you think the writing in AOS and fantasy is awful, at least everyone gets equal writing.
Yeah.
Although, to be fair,
Ignoring
the Black Templars, legendary for not allowing librarians into their chapter because they hate mutants of all kinds, having a whale of a time when there's lots of mutants to purge, does make sense.
I'm sure that didn't need to be more than the various psychic races, though. They didn't need
and then they killed more
than
psychers.
that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Like,
They're having a great time.
Those were 2 sentences. I'm satisfied. I've had all I need.
Bean $2. Thank you, Bean. Archaeon got decked in the Nurglings.
Wow.
Truly.
My word.
Tom
Warren. Oh, do you want this one? You guys jumped in there.
Hell yeah. Halfling's #1.
Halfling's
Look, my
#1.
halfling character stopped a demon summoning in a Warhammer Fantasy roleplay.
Epic.
He brained an old lady
And,
with a rock.
and finally, card shark for 2 Canadian bucks. Abaddon needs his grind set story.
Yes, he
Wow.
does. He
Appreciate
needs a
it,
podcast.
Well, someone did put something that in the chat that inconsistency is an issue in 40K writing. That fantasy has it better. I would say they do, unless you were talking about the vampires. Then welcome to hell. Pick your origin story. There's like 5.
Yeah.
That's cool, Isol, because you could just like pretend it's a myth and nobody really knows.
It's cool
so
like
long
that.
ago.
It's just like, give me like 3.
Yeah, I know.
3's
Yeah,
a
I
nice
know. It's
even
stupid.
number. I don't need 5 per character.
Fantasy has interesting elves as well.
It's
Well, I
what
was going to say, with the elves, at least in 40K, there's
Yeah,
5 Eldar books I think everyone wish weren't there.
Yeah.
And that's half
At
their
least
books.
these
Elves actually get to do
people
stuff
like
in
the elf.
fantasy.
People like the elf books in fantasy and AOS.
But dark elves get the Eldar treatment or the
get the glow
chaos
up.
treatment, I guess. They just can't.
Mm.
If they ever win, then they have to stop making high elves, and so they never win anything.
I still don't know why. Like for me, like I'm really drawn to like elves and like Tolkien stuff and Warhammer Fantasy and other things, and yet when it comes to the 40K stuff, I really like. I have no draw to it. I don't know why. It doesn't feel like it translates. It doesn't feel like the same thing.
Man.
I think the trouble with well, at least I think one of the troubles with the Eldar in 40K is that because they're already like an obliterated species who have only so much like power, like the Imperium's whole thing is they're a horde of people. Chaos is a horde of demons. Tower are a burgeoning new species, and then Eldar are already kind of done. So, we're already broken up in our craft, and every time we lose a craft,
trying their best to kill everyone else.
It's
Give them some credit.
The cycle of empires has gone through. The Eldar are the fallen one, the Imperium's the crumbling one, and the Tower the rising one. Which means the Eldar have the unfortunate position of being the guys who your time is over. Which, that's a major theme for everyone but the Tau in 40K is that the glories of the past are gone. But the Eldars are like really gone.
I think it's because I think like with like Eldar, they have like the path system, which for me in a way is like character neuting like potential in a way, because it's like we all have to stick on this same, like basically we all have to be carbon copies of each other. Whereas I feel like in fantasy,
but they can abandon the past whenever they like, though.
But Wicked doesn't even explore that really. So whereas in like fantasy is like an elf is kind of like it is in a way like I can view them as human characters and like they have their own motivations and other things. Whereas like Eldar almost feel like they're too divorced from human that I can't quite get into the mind.
I mean, they're aliens. They should be.
That doesn't make good character moments for me.
My most radical thing is that if they wanted to make the Eldar cool to more people, they would need to go all in on the unknowable Fey nature and not give them books, which I know sounds insane.
Yeah.
But you can't have them both because as it is, they try and do like the unknowable like manipulator shtick and also humanize them, and they just come across as stupid.
Yeah.
But there's also one thing I found when I was reading the Craftworld book specifically was like, on the one hand, there are species that are on the circling the proverbial drain of extinction, but at the same time, they're the only race in the whole setting who are like, I'm just going to spend the next 100 years being an artist. I'm going to live in this lovely, lush craft world where there's no war or suffering, and we've got plenty. And even though we're a like completely crippled empire, like everything's great. Other than that, it's like, can we have one or the other? Like, it's weird to be like, the world, this is the grim darkness of the 41st millennium. It's like, I'm going to pick up sculpting as my livelihood. It's like, huh? The fuck? What?
Yeah, they're all trained.
Demons.
They're all guardian
Demons.
militia. They train.
You know what? I think they could borrow something from Fantasy into 40k.
Tyrion.
Chaos Eldar. Honestly,
Chaos
Chaos Eldar.
Oh, yeah.
They almost did.
Eldar.
There was like old Rogue Trader lore, like little bits of blurbs where it's like there might be some Eldar hanging around the Eye of Terror still in the Crone worlds, but they're not normal.
We don't need chaos to be interesting, though. They don't need chaos to be cool.
That does happen though. Like there's an Eldar of one of the craft worlds gets manipulated by Sinch, and then Motley the Harlequin is like, "Oh, go check out the world spirit of this planet. Don't worry, there's just this crazy incubus going in there, and he's fighting it. Like, oh, okay, this won't go wrong." And he's like, big grin on his face, and he like swaps out one of his runes with like a Kegarak rune. So when he tries to cast a spell, he becomes like possessed. It's like, so it does happen, just not very often. It's never like a notable character. It's always a pawn.
There was that demon, that Eldar demon in the Yanari books, if I remember correctly.
And all Eldar demons become Slaneshi anyway. So, we're going to get a Cornate. Why?
Eldar really need.
Oh yes, Slayer Barden having 0 top categories. This is yet another Fermentide balancing moment.
Amazing.
Is there anything else from that?
Question of the week.
Yes. Do we have the previous ones, or do we?
I was going to ask. Did you get the previous ones?
I didn't. No,
I was yammering. Give me a minute. I'll go look.
Nobody told me.
Hold. Arrows campaign. I'm opening it.
Oh my gosh.
For people who are in the chat, though, let us know if you guys want any more particular fantasy podcast topics. I know it's maybe not for everyone, but obviously fantasy is a fantastic universe in itself. Different from 40k. There's so much crossover. Chaos is not the same in each one of them. So there's so many different like topics that are crossovers, but yet they have variety. So feel free to actively send us, in the comment section as well as also in the chat, and then obviously all the Discord as well, because we do have a Discord. So
and
go to the Discord.
We recently in the Discord reached 1,000 members, which is crazy. So thank you all for joining.
Thank you so
much.
We
have memes. It's good fun.
I hate you, Rarest Pepe, because I have questions. Fuck you, man.
What was the previous question?
Hashtag helper. Who would you put to be the Tau's newest little race of buddies? I think the Tau deserve Chakats. If you know, then you know. P.S. I bet Colin knows. I do know, and I hate you for reminding me of
What
that.
are these?
I'm not. Look it up. It's disgusting.
I don't know what that
means. The author's not at all disguised fascist.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
I would choose not to look it up.
It's furry stuff, Andy. It's furry stuff.
Oh no! Yeah. Oh no!
Cringe! Holy cow!
PBR Ratlord, hashtag helper. I think Andy was on the right track actually, but for entirely different reasons. Grunts are regularly in excess of 5 feet, making them giants compared to the lore criminals.
Hey, I'm basically 6 foot.
And they are genuinely terrifying as a force to the point the rebellion nearly broke the covenant. That's true. Ongoing supremacy. Huge. They have numbers like the guard, weapons that would put a hurt on about anything in 40k, and when they're pressed, they have ferocity and tenacity to rival the orcs. Feed them and treat them remotely well, and you have plenty of meat for the galactic grinder. Hope to catch you all live next week.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Dude, shout out to that grunt deacon who accidentally activated a Nova bomb, and his last words were, "And then he was never cold again."
So, Colin, your opinion: is there anything more terrifying than playing Halo and you you pan across, only to find a suicide grunt with the 2 grenades just in front of you that you didn't notice?
That's the second most terrifying thing. The most terrifying thing is that same thing, but with a rocket flood.
Rocket floods.
Like,
I love the library. You can't take our
time to
respawn.
It's
when it's coming at you and you can't dodge, you go, Yeah,
it's just like, well, I see my death oncoming. This one is... I'll get 2 more because one of them was gross and disgusting. Nerdcasting 40K, #helpers, the Cybertronians. Optimus Prime becomes the leader of the Tau Empire, and the Cybertronians get 40K alt models.
Perfect.
I saw a cool piece of fan art that was the Emperor and Optimus Prime fighting alongside each other. My only problem is that the Optimus Prime would never in a fucking million years be caught fighting alongside the Emperor. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings does not mesh well with I know it because I am right.
Or the guy who goes, yeah, servitors are fine. Like, I don't know if Optimus would be a fan of servitors.
And then the last one, #helper, the Osiarch Bone Reapers. Not only would you gain the support of one of Nagash's armies, you have an effective way to cull the human population of the Empire through the Bone Tithe. With the added bonus of not being held accountable for the cull, because that's just the cost of doing business with the Bone Reapers. And then, of course, he ends it with such is the power of Nagash. Thank you, Angry Homunculus.
Amazing.
Very good.
What's your suggestions, boys?
Well, for helper.
The helper species?
I think I was going to choose...
I think I said one last time. I don't remember what it was.
Whatever the sentient squirrel talking things from Alvin and the Chipmunk, but not the actual Alvin and the Chipmunks. the parody movie that had Alvin and the Chipmunks. That's kind of like, what was the... I don't remember the name of the film, but it's like Epic Movie. It's like a similar franchise to that. Whatever that
the guy who watches those movies.
And then like eating the woman's spine.
Hold on, Hal. What was your opinion of Sausage Party? Did you enjoy that movie?
I've not seen it.
Doubt.
I'm sure that's no great loss.
But if I were to have a helper species, I'd get the Krogans involved.
Oh, you fucker.
8 foot tall, ribbit, carry the shotgun men. Oh, they'd be pretty good.
That was going to be my answer, you bastard.
Oh, sorry. Colin, what were you going to pick?
Stick with 2 guns.
The Gungans.
Bring on.
Wow.
Oh, the last nail in the coffin for the Tau. Oh my gosh.
You're one of the few Imperial commanders that does diplomacy, and you walk out to the Tau embassy and you're
Brian Blessed.
You planted to Tau Empire, yes, sir.
Didn't someone point out, like, isn't all the Star Wars...
Thank you, George Lucas.
Why is there loads of, like, alien races that are basically ethnic minorities?
That's a great question.
Like, a horrible take on them. What's the guy... I'm not going into that territory, but who's the... Was it Grotto? Flotto?
Oh, yeah, Watto.
Watto, yeah.
Base.
I wonder what he's based off of.
or the pettiness of George Lucas that he called the Nemoidians as a jab at Leonard Nimoy, and that's why they're called Nemoidians. Like, wow.
And then on the side, they're also horrible Chinese stereotypes.
Yeah, my childhood is ruined. I mean, the Gungans as well. What is that? You know how? Oh, it's just
Misa hating crunching. That's the last thing Misa wanted. He said to the commissar before being shot.
It's George Lucas. I need to write more Gungas.
It's just ridiculous. I can't unsee it.
The Gunga.
I love that behind the scenes of episode 1. It's just like Jar Jar is the key. You can get Jar Jar right. It'll all work out. I'm like,
Darth Jar Jar is canon.
There's a bit where like the Oni plays are playing a Lego Star Wars game. It's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Yeah, like, I need to write more Gungas.
The Gungas.
Do we have
Eli? Who would? I was going to say, Eli, did you pick your species?
Any race from Endless Space 2, basically.
Cravers.
They're all very
Cravers.
unique. I still think the Cravers would be good because you can still have diplomacy with the Cravers.
Tyranids.
And then you just point them in the right direction. If there's a planet that they don't want and they want to commit war crimes, but they don't want the Tau to do it, just send the Cravers at it and it'll die and they'll get the job done.
Do you reckon the tree men would like the Tau? Like, what do you want?
Yeah,
I want to be more trees across more planets. Is that it? Yes. All right, fine, tree man.
Oh, I forgot the most important Archaeon fact. He's
bold.
He sucks in Total Warhammer. At least multiplayer. He's called the Everchosen. It's because he's not fast enough to get to things he can kill quick enough. He doesn't have a high enough DPS to mulch through tar pits, and he doesn't have enough mass compared to Kolic to just walk where he needs to be.
Gotta get that SFO mod going.
Do we have a new question of the week?
We do. The new question of the week is #Everchosen.
Oh, fuck!
This can be any setting you like. What?
Archaeon is scared of penguins. Someone in chat reminded me.
Is that real?
Yes, he is.
No, yes, it's because he considers like the beastmen of the Southern Pole who never really came into contact with humanity, like the truest, most terrifying essence of chaos. Well, that's Antarctica, so naturally, Archaeon is scared of penguins.
Well, awesome.
No. But yeah, the Everchosen hashtag is you can bring anyone from any setting into Warhammer and make them into the Everchosen. Who would you pick? I think Where's Wally as the Everchosen would be hilarious because not only would he be really powerful, but it would take you 20 minutes to figure out where he was in a battle, and that'd be quite fun.
Slam dunk, easy, Bob Ross. There's a bit of genocide.
Right. Now, Andy, I wanna see if this is breaking the rules a little bit, but you know how like the Abyss Watchers in Dark Souls 3, right? Like they're all the Lord of Cinder. Like none of them are individually.
Yeah.
I would like my pick for the Everchosen to not be one person, but every Ewok combined.
Are they constantly fighting against each other in this, like little?
No, they're horrified. Look, I've been playing Battlefront 2, man. Ewok hunt.
That is terrifying.
Those things are horrifying.
Wicket, the Everchosen, just chewing on a biscuit is terrifying.
You see, like X dude is lost to the forest, and then you hear 6 battle horns go off at once. Like, death has.
One of my friends just died.
Truly, the Viet Cong flashback. So,
what inspired them to do that? Even the trailer for that gameplay mode is horrifying.
Amazing.
I'm assuming the dev team got drunk one night and went, "Do you know what'd be funny?" And they went, "Yeah."
It wasn't the originals, to be fair. Original Battlefront 2. Not nearly as terrifying though.
No, but yeah, no, it was like well lit. The Ewoks were ass, and now it's like infection. But
yeah,
and also galaxy conquering empire with the finest armaments and weapons available versus logs. Like amazing.
Dude, next versus debate. Katakan versus Ewoks.
Oh, it's a washout. Katakan getting mulched. Poor fellas.
One game of E1 hunt changes a man's life.
That being said, though, Dalinar Blackfall.
Dalinar's a good shout.
Good shout. That being said, though, everyone, thank you guys so much for listening, for watching. Thank you to Colin for guiding us through the true War Master.
And one more donation before we go from Prime One Junior for 5. Thanks for the stream, boys. On my way to go see Superman with the boys. Have fun.
I've heard it's good.
I've heard good and mediocre things, but nothing bad. So
hey, it's better than most superhero movies coming out nowadays.
even mid is better than most.
Yeah.
Because again, we have the Discord. We have Going Bob merch. I should say Going Bob merch. All that good stuff.
Merch.
Subscribe if you made it. Obviously, if you're watching it at the video, everyone who did contribute as well in the comments, and also if you do join Discord, we do read out your comments and we ask you to help us with videos. So do get in there if you want to help us out. That being said, see you guys all on the next one. Then peace.
Farewell,
bye, everybody.
Bye. Thank you.
Love you all.